Hey, 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 hello and welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday afternoon. I didn't do a live stream Sunday and just kind of got busy with other projects. So, anyway, working on my truck, I had some problems with it. So, it's wanted to say, hey, what's going on? And how's everybody doing today? Yeah, Van Halen died. That sucks. He was a great artist. So, anyway, I'm sure everybody heard about that. But anyway, how's everybody doing? I got a broken hypercube. I got a broken CR10. Having some printer issues. I got this RoboDeath by Sanix, but I thought I'd print it upside down because it was going to be pretty tall and have a lot of supports. And I got to about right here after almost a full roll of filament, and I had a huge layer shift. So anyway, I took the supports off of it and I looked at it, and then I had a ton of damage from having it upside down, but that could have been fixed. But I was just trying to save on supports because once I let Simplified 3D add all my supports, I was having trouble getting in there to take them all out because supports aren't needed for anything with a curvature. So, and I restarted the print a little bit ago, and I was helping the wife in the kitchen. I heard all kinds of racket, and I ran over to my printer, my Hypercube, which I've got turned around right now, and some of my bearings. I don't think I have my belts too tight, but I did notice black debris on the ground underneath my belt, and a couple of my rollers appear to be locking up. So I've got to take the belts off, check the rollers, and probably replace the belts. So I either had them too tight or something's going on with a couple rollers. And then I can try to start reprinting again. So 3D print newbie Mylan, how you doing? Well, you got the sticker. Awesome. Very glad you got it. Hope you like it. We go back over to comments. And I'm streaming on Facebook on my 3D printing channel or my group, and then I'm on YouTube also. I did not go to my regular Facebook page this time. And then tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I'll be doing my weekly live stream. I've got Andrew S. on there from T-Tech 3D. He's going to be on. He's one of the co-owners in the UK, and that's going to be a real interesting show tomorrow night. So what's everybody up to? What are we doing? Are we working or non-fam? How's it going? Hello, hello. Yeah, and as you can see, I need to shave. Got the white and the gray coming out and on my face. So I usually shave a couple times a week, and usually right before I go live, I usually shave and try to look better. So anyway, let's see. Last Friday when I was streaming, I got trolled by a few people, so hopefully that won't happen again. I'll just have to watch out for who I let in chat, who I let pop in on the screen anyway. I'll put a link down there if any of my people that know me or I know you want to pop in. You're welcome to. And there's the link there. I'll probably be streaming for a couple hours. And typically, I gab for about an hour, and then people start popping in. But that may change soon. Maybe somebody will say, "Hey, let me go in there, jump in, and hang out with him, so I can chitter chatter." So, and my vape pipe keeps leaking down here at the bottom a little bit. I need to take the thing apart and do something with it. So, some people probably say, "Yeah, throw it in the trash." No, my vape, that's my crutch. Better than smoking. Jim Sellers, how's it going? Troll here. Yeah. Yep, you're not a troll. Anyway, yeah, I just need to work on the Hypercube, and then I'm having a problem with my board on my CR10. So, yeah, I was getting an E1 temp air on it, and then I put a new thermistor and a heater on my hot end, and next thing you know, my screen is blue on my TH3D board. So I guess I killed the board, or something was wrong with it. I don't know. But I got a blue screen. It's a new board. Something's wrong. Waiting to hear back from their tech department to see what we can do about it, if anything. Yeah, if you're able to jump in, go for it. You can be on a cell phone, a tablet, PC. Anyway, yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from a few companies on some reviews I want to do on some printers and some resin printers. So maybe when they get off their 8-day holiday in China, they'll get a hold of me. If not, I'll keep PMing them and seeing what I can get out, see what I can work out for my next video. Yeah, I've got 24 volt heaters and I got 12 volt heaters, and I had a 12 volt heater going on it But no, I haven't checked the resistance on it. But when I do get them mixed up, when they're not labeled, you can't tell what you got, I have to check the resistance to see which is which. But the one I put in it was 12 for 12 volt system. And what the resistance needs to be between 12 and 24, I don't know. I got to Google it. Last time I had a bunch and I didn't know what they were. I had to Google it. And then I got up my meter and I started checking them all to see which was which. So, hello, David. How you doing? Oh, the resistance on a thermistor. 12 or 24 volt, best of my knowledge, are all the same. I didn't know they were different on the thermistors. It's a little bulb type. Yeah, I've known that heaters can be different, but I didn't know thermistors were. And most of I only have the two CR10s that are 12 volt, and all my enders obviously are 24 volt. And then I've got parts for both. But when they're not marked, then I have to check them out. If anybody would like to pop in and hang out, you're welcome to, or just ask me questions and, we can just sit here and hang out. Yeah, Eddie Van Halen, that sucks. Only 65, throat cancer. So I'm assuming from smoking. I don't know. Yep, you never know how many days you got left. Could be tomorrow, could be 20 years. You never know. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I was going to go live Sunday night, and I never did it. I forget the reason other than I was working on my truck. My fuel pump went out, so I had to work on my fuel pump. And this time I didn't want to drop the tank. That's a huge pain in the ass. So I unbolted the bed, 8 bolts, 3 plugs, unbolted the filler neck on the side of the box, and then lifted it up. And I didn't have nobody to help me lift it, so I had to kind of finagle one side, then the other, then the other. And I had a sticker for the Cowboys football team in the back window, a new sticker, and I tore up the Cowboy letters on it, trying to finagle it myself. But once I got the new pump in, I went and grabbed my next door neighbor. He was home, and he helped me set it back in place. And then my spare tire, I was going to put some air in it. It was flat underneath the truck. I noticed the valve stem was rotten, so I went down to Tire Works, and for $10, they put a new valve stem in it for me. Good morning, all. David, what time is it? You just waking up over the pond? It's 5 o'clock here in Las Vegas, Nevada, in USA. 5 p.m. Yeah, another friend of mine here in Las Vegas, I got a hold of. He's a maker, and he has a lot of cool hobbies he's interested in. I'm trying to maybe get him on to be on next week, but he has never been on camera before, and he's shy about doing it. So we'll see if I can maybe get into a private stream with him and just chat with him privately on StreamYard, not online, and get him over his jitters. I know I used to have a lot of jitters just hanging out talking to the camera, but, it's like, wow, the world is looking at me. Oh, no. So, 1 a.m. here. Okay. All righty then. And this weekend, they got the virtual Earth going on, so that ought to be pretty interesting. Sit around all day, wherever you're at, put on the big TV and just watch what's going on. Everybody in their homes or their businesses showing off stuff for Earth. I would love to go next year if things are better, but I don't know that they will be. This year it's getting burned up pretty quick and ain't much happening. So maybe I'll get to go in a couple of years. Anyway, yeah, I think I just showed everybody, but this is going to be my Robo-Death skull. It's like RoboCop. It's got a big hand. It's like holding it on a base like this, but it had a million supports up in here from S3D, and I was having trouble getting them all out. And it's simpler for me to add supports and then delete the ones I don't want than to try to figure out where to put them all on a big model. So I figured I'll just print it upside down, and then I had a belt problem on my computer. Yeah, if we're talking about Earth, yeah, it'll be strange just watching it. Yeah, I filled out an app on Twitter. I was hoping to get accepted to be one of the people on Earth. That way I can kind of show off my hobby room and have a bunch of prints lined up and get my 5 or 10 minutes, whatever you're allotted, I guess 5 minutes, but I never got chosen. So they put out a list of everybody that was going to be exhibitors and, backers and stuff like that. And I wasn't on the list. So maybe they just took primarily people that have paid in the past, I guess, that reapplied probably. But anyway, one of these days. And because I live in Las Vegas, I can't imagine loading up my truck with a zillion prints and tables and everything. Well, not tables, but driving halfway across the country to set up a booth for 2 days. That would really suck. So if I go back, I'll probably fly back, stay in a motel for a day or two, probably bring my wife, I guess, and just hang out and talk to everybody, do some filming while I'm there and make a video out of it when I get home. Anyway, hello, 9 people that's watching. We've got 9 people on YouTube and no one on Facebook on my group watching. And if anybody that would like to drop in that I probably know or I do know, you're welcome. If you're somebody that I don't know, like what happened last Friday, I will not let you in. And I still haven't set up Twitch. I need to get Twitch set up and possibly stream to Twitch at some point, or I don't know, do it through StreamYard like I am right now, or a separate channel. I'm not really sure. Need to work on it. And I don't have my Etsy store set up yet. That's still an idea in my head that I haven't pursued. So just want to get my truck running, right? And number 8 cylinder on Chevy sucks. Trying to get to number 8, but I got it. I got the ratchet. I got the spark plug backed all the way out, and then I was hitting the heat shield on the firewall. So it was loose. I knew I had the spark plug screwed out, but I couldn't get it out. So I took a big long steel pry bar and I smacked the end of the wrench until I got it on the ground. Yeah, and thank God it wasn't partially screwed in, but I got it out and got it replaced okay. Yeah, Sean Butler. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, you're welcome to drop in, Sean. Just throw on a shirt. Look decent. Got a link there. If you want to come in and hang out, you're welcome to. Or you can be an emoji and just talk. Sometimes people pop in and they just talk. They got an emoji, and then when they talk, the ring moves. Oh, boy. Yeah, Elegoo Mars. Last year, my LCDs went out twice. When I got it last August up until December, I was printing every day, 24/7, doing tons and tons of prints. I probably printed 100 to 150 things in resin. And then the screen started giving me holes in the print, and I replaced it last December. And then here a few days ago, or about a week ago, I printed this little Deadpool bust. And as you can see, his shoulder right there and the side of his head have a rip. So my screen started going again. So I just put a new screen in it. I think it was yesterday I got that done. But I don't currently have anything printing. And if I ever get my taxes back and they release it on Amazon, I want to get an LED Saturn, the bigger one. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye on what kind of problems people are having with it or not having with it. And of course, I would love to have a really big resin printer, but I don't have the money for a Phenon. But I'd love to have one, but I don't have that kind of money. A relative in the family would have to die, an immediate relative, in order for me to afford a Phenon. So anyway, but that's not, hopefully that'll never happen. Okay, no problem. You can always log in on your cell phone. You know it, right? That's okay. No worries. So, unless you have an old flip phone that don't have a camera and all that on it. Yeah, I had a special guest on last year. I forget who it was. I think it's Frag Metz. He was on his cell phone when I had him on the live stream. It's just hard. I believe, if I remember correctly, you can't see chat if you drop it on a stream on your cell phone. The chat doesn't show up or something like that. Anyway, 3D Print Viking, Dan, Llama, Justin T, Zolon. Hey, all you guys, if you're watching, you're welcome to pop in and say hey. Or not. That's fine. 10 people that are watching, please ask me some questions and I'll try to answer them. So that's why I'm here. I dropped in to talk to people, hang out, answer questions if I can. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not an expert at nothing. I just know a lot about what I do, but I'm not an expert at nothing. So know a little bit about everything. And it doesn't have to be about hobby or 3D printing stuff. You want to ask me automotive questions, maintenance questions around your house, whatever, I can probably answer pretty much anything. And then if I can't, there'll be somebody in chat that'll have an answer. Anyway, questions? Anyone questions? Hello, 12 people that are watching. Please like, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Here we go. Here's a banner. I set up the stream about 15 minutes before I started. And then I go to a prior video and I copy and paste everything over from the prior video into my live stream, and I'm getting ready to run. That way I don't show it blank when people want to look at it. Jerry Key, how you doing? That pops up when that shows up in StreamYard, your comment, I'll put it on the screen. You have an Ender 5. That's cool. There we go. It takes about 20 seconds from YouTube to show up on the screen over here in StreamYard. Yeah, I don't have an Ender 5. I have not tried one. I've got 2 CR10s, like 6 Ender 3s, a TiVo Tarantula Pro, my Hypercube, and then an Elgu Mars resin printer. And then I have an extra Ender 3 in a box under my feet that I need some parts. I've never put it together because I don't run my printers very much anymore. How you liking your Ender 5, Jerry? Anyway, whenever I get off the stream tonight, I'll take the belts off my Hypercube and I'll start working on that. I've got one Ender 5 Pro and one Ender 5 Pro. Return that with junk, and now I got a laser engraver. Yeah, I want to get a laser engraver here in the near future. I forget the brand name that's on all the videos. It's like, build volumes like this by this. I forget what that's called. I'm sure you guys know. They're on AliExpress for like 250, and then for like 80 or 90 bucks more, you can buy them on Amazon locally. Yeah, the Hypercube. I started another print earlier, and I got a bad belt or pulleys on one corner. Yeah, I was starting another print. And I was getting all kinds of racket, and I noticed when this print failed the other day that I had a bunch of black debris down here like sawdust behind the belt. I've got it turned around backwards right now, but these pulleys right here are locking up on me. So it's probably ruined my belts, burned them up. So I got to disconnect my belts, obviously, on the back here, and then probably replace these 2 bearings. I got to check them, see what kind of shape they're in, see what happened to them. And I probably got to replace the belts too, because there's quite a bit of debris. Yeah, I want to print me some coasters and some goodies and start selling them. So I need to get me a laser engraver in the near future. CO2 laser would be ideal if I can afford one, if I can find one cheap enough that's of decent quality. I'm guessing $400 or $500, but it all depends. Auteur, yeah. I think it's spelled different, but yeah, Auteur laser. That's the one I was thinking of. Looks pretty cool. I know Walter Country 3D, Jim at the Edge of Tech, and a few other people have been making some really cool things out of them. And then what's his name? The resin guy who lives on the farm. Can't think of his name. He's been doing a lot of stuff. I've been checking his videos out lately. He's a member of my group. I can't think of his name. 3D Print Farm or something like that. 3D Medic Vince. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, my wife wanted to ask you, Vince, if she would send her a sticker. I said, well, if you guys are friends, just ask him. I'm sure he might mail you one. Because I have one sticker from you that I have posted. And I said, well, I only sent Vince one sticker. I don't know if he's going to want to send you a sticker, Brandy, but if I see him sometime, I'll ask him. But I'll be welcome to pay. I'll pay for it if you need me to. You can send her one too, postage and the price of the sticker. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I've seen a few different people advertising here and there. Cool deal. Like 4 for 12 or 4 for 13, I guess. If I ever get a laser and start making, I'll just look to see what everybody's charging and do the same thing. That way nobody's out charging each other or nobody's scalping too much, all about the same. Because if everybody holds the same price, then they'll be fair to everybody. And unless somebody comes in and tries to undercut everybody, that isn't really nice. But shit happens. Well, that's cool. If you could mail me another one for my wife, I'd appreciate it. And if you need a couple bucks, I can PayPal you, not a problem, or however you want to do it. NY 3D Creations. Hello, how you doing? So you're probably buying cork or something off Amazon, I guess. Pre-cut circles, I would imagine, right? That seems reasonable. 4 for 12. Here's your stream link if anybody would like to pop in and hang out and chit chat. Yeah, if I get my taxes back soon, then I can order one and, get it. Be safe about it. Learn light burn and watch everybody's videos and learn light burn and go from there. Yeah, 3D Print Farm. I think that's what his name is. Let me go and look. Yeah, I'm scrolling through my YouTube channels. Let's see. Where's that? I watch YouTube so much, it's going to take me a minute to find it. No, I don't see it. I give up. Awesome, Jim. Thank you very much. You don't have to pay me for it, but thank you very much. Awesome. I need an applause button. So thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for the sticker, Jim. Thanks for the sticker, Jerry. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like them. And thank you very much for the $5. Yeah, I've still got probably, I don't know, I got 2 stacks of them here. Yeah, I still got quite a few here. So I posted online. Anybody in the U.S. that wants me to send them one, $150, that'll cover my sticker price and my postage. And anybody out of the country, $250. So I put that over on Facebook and on Twitter. And then everybody that I'm an acquaintance with, I just mailed them one. I'm not obviously not charging them anything. And I sent out probably 60 or 70 U.S. and around the world total for free. Thanks, Vince. Appreciate it. Yeah, but one of my upcoming videos, I'm going to film all my stickers from everybody and list everybody off, kind of plug everybody. Nothing wrong with trolling. You're a good guy. So if you watch my stream Friday, when the one guy had all those turkeys on the screen or cartoons of turkeys, they were starting to disappear. There was a certain object behind all that, so I had to hurry up and get that off the screen before it popped up. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully one of these days I'll get to go and meet everybody and hang out. Oh, boy. And once again, there's a stream link if anybody wants to come in and hang out. It's 5 o'clock here, so I guess most parts of the country it's 7 or 8 o'clock. And I didn't see anybody else streaming for a while once I got on. So I know Joel was doing a live stream tomorrow night, and I'm also doing a live stream tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. Andrew S. will be on. So I know Joel got that big printer he done the live stream on. He couldn't get it to work, and then they sent him replacement parts, if you've seen. And it had a clogged extruder and tore it apart numerous times, and they sent him a replacement, and I guess he had nothing but headaches. It's like a $4,000 piece of junk. So we'll see if he can get it going. What prints am I working on, Colin? I was doing working on my RoboCop from Sanix, the Halloween file he gave free to everybody, but my Hypercube broke down, so I got to fix my Hypercube and reprint it. I'm printing it at 600%. It's like got like a great big robot arm holding up the skull up in there. It's a free file over on Sanix's website that is given away. And I got on he listed on my group too 4 or 5 days ago, maybe a week ago. And that's about it. And then I got a Mary Jane I need to finish painting. Here's her head that I painted a while back and resin printed. She's got the first coat on it, so I need to work on that. Once the model's done, it will look like that. Spider-Man girlfriend / wife, Mary Jane. So this is somebody else's painting, not mine, but I base a lot of my work off other stuff that people do. If I can't find a picture from the comic book or, Marvel, wherever, I get my paint schematics or get my paint scheme on how I want to paint something. I get ideas from other people, obviously. And then I got to start printing stuff for Christmas here pretty soon for my wife's family. She wants me to make different things. So I got to start working on that at some point. So I usually procrastinate and put it off, but it'll get done. Get her done. So, yeah, like I said, I worked on the resin printer. Need to work on the Hypercube. I've been waiting to hear back from TH3D about one of my printers and the main board, what's going to happen there. More than likely, I'll have to take it out and throw it in the trash, but we'll wait and see what happens. So that's about it. And when I get some more money, I need to start my project out back. My fuel pump for my truck, I had to hit up the bank, which is called my sister, to borrow money for the fuel pump from her because my limited monthly income doesn't allow me to do much. So I'll just make payments on her for the fuel pump for the next couple months. That's why I need to get an Etsy store and start selling all these prints behind me. So anyway, try to sell everything reasonably. Yeah, I do. Got plenty of printers. Most of them work. Need to get some more filament, but I've got probably 4 or 5 rolls of filament, maybe 6. Halloween stuff, that's cool. Yeah, last year at Halloween I printed. I never finished it though. Let me show you. Get my shelf. Down. I was gonna put LEDs in for the eyes, and I never did. But they're in a great big Deadpool. So he's got a couple swords here that I've never painted. That go across the back of him, I believe. A couple swords. But that's pretty neat. See, he's pretty big. So he has some layered lines here and there on him. He looks pretty good though. And I'm gonna put LEDs. I do have some eyes. I printed out them real thin white ones, covers, and then I put red LEDs in behind it. But I never have finished it. But that's kind of like the story of my life. I start something, don't always finish what I start. when I get different prints from designers in the past, I haven't got anything in a while because I've been busy. I would bang them out and print them and post pictures of them and stuff. And this one I paid for from Sanix, and I just never have got around to finishing it, getting it 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I used to say in all my videos, Jerry at 3D printing and painting, and I just kind of got tired of saying 3D printing and painting, so I'll just leave it Jerry 3D HP. And 3D HP stands for one of two things: 3D hobby projects or 3D hobby printing. So, whichever way you want to say it. Matthew, how you doing? You're very welcome. Yeah, Matthew and Chad, he's got quite the garage. He was on Jim from EduTech a few weeks ago, and he's got a C3PO and everything. He's just got all kinds of stuff. A Wile E. Coyote coming out of the door, and he's just all kinds of neat models and stuff all over his garage. And they're, the paint job on them, he's doing phenomenal work, excellent work. If you'd like to come in and hang out for a little bit, Matthew, here's a link. Or if you're probably busy working in your garage right now, but if you want to, you're very welcome to. And another thing, Matthew, I remember you was on the EduTech. There's a great way you can start a YouTube channel, and since you've already got all this work already done, you could walk up to each model or each couple models, and you can sit there and explain your process on how you went about creating that, even though it's finished, and that could be a video. And then you could do another video talking about a couple more things, or just one at a time if you wanted to. Just explain what you did, how you did it. You don't have to show the steps. You can just explain it as you show the item, and you can make a video out of it. And that'd be a good way to pump your channel and get it going right off the bat. So I know there's a lot of things I've done, and then after I do something, whatever it may be around the house or out front, in the garage, truck, whatever, I'm like, well, I could have made a video on that. And occasionally I went back and filmed things, even though it didn't show the process. I explained what I did, and just, gives people ideas. People enjoy watching content and getting ideas, even though they may not actually see you do it. You can usually explain it. Yeah, when I seen your garage and you said you didn't have a channel, that's the first thing I thought of was just go around and just start taping one thing at a time, and just explain what you did and your process. And you might even want to pull some colors out and say, well, when I did that, I used this, this, and this, and here's why I use this, this, and this. Everybody has different ways of doing things, and people just eat up any kind of information helps. I mean, everything I do, I learn from somebody else. And then whenever you start a channel, I'll be more than happy on my 3D printing and painting group on Facebook. I'll post a link to try to help you get more viewers and more subs. Because one thing funny about subscribers, I've got a little over 1,700. And for instance, Jim, he's up to around 20,000, 17 or 18,000. But you only see 60 or 70 people in his chat. Well, if he's got 18 or 19,000 and I've got over 1,700, and I usually get 30 people on my weekly streams, where are all these people at? They're all sub to you, but whenever you do a live stream week after week after week, where are they at? Are they invisible? They're made up. They don't ever come back. I don't quite understand. Yeah, I seen the one that Jim showed last night, and I heard you were doing one pretty big. That'll be cool. That'll be really detailed. Just tape your progress, or if you've done a bunch of it and you haven't taped it, it's not too late to start. Just kick on the camera, cell phone, whatever, and tape little pieces here and there and throw it together. My editing software, I use Movie Studio Platinum. YouTube used to have a free program if they still have it, but there's lots of editing software. It's simple to use. You just kind of figure it out, and in the time you get better. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, a lot of stuff I don't watch live. If I'm busy, it's like a show on TV. I'll go catch it on a rerun or something. I don't always watch it live, so I'm busy doing something else. But I usually go back and watch it, just like on a hangout like now where I'm gabbing. Usually when more people are in, but you never know what I might start talking about, and then somebody watching like, "Hey, he said this or he said that," and I didn't know it. I'm glad I seen that. So people just get bored, or they just want to sit there and look at the funny bald guy. So. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I've had a couple failures lately in my hypercube, and I've got to fix it. And then I got a CR10 down at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, statistically, I think most people stream from the U.S. I see a lot of the printer sales and different things that are going on. It looks like the majority of everything is coming out of the U.S. So, well, I hope you get the bugs worked out. It's usually something simple that you overlooked. I know sometimes when I used to print all the time on all my printers, most of them are going, there'd be weeks where everything's going perfect. And then all of a sudden, one week, things just start breaking down and have random dumb problems. So, film a video sorting screws. See, we got one person over on my Facebook group watching, and we got 17 on YouTube. Well, thank you for watching and hearing me gab about a whole bunch of nothing. But if you ask questions, I'll try to answer them. And if anybody that knows me or I know you wants to jump in and hang out, here's the link. So, oh, let me see. I got something over here I can grab and show you. Matthew just done this. He's got his all painted. Mine, I never finished painting. Let me get it off the shelf. I printed this about 3 years ago, but I never finished it. Oh. Never did get it finished. And that's printed, and I have 3 parts. Jules Verne's 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the Nautilus. When I got this file off of Thingiverse, I think it was like 10,000% or something really ridiculous. And I had to, shrink it way down to almost nothing to be able to print this. It's probably got like 5% infill in it. It's pretty solid. But when I printed some of the framework here for the window glass on the one side, it broke on me. And this other side is still there, but I never have finished it. And I never have printed a stand for it. But I know that Nicholas, you have one of these. I've seen it in one of your videos. And I don't know where the fins, whatever happened to the fins, but it was a cool project. I used to love stuff like this when I was a kid, watching these kind of shows. And then eventually I was able to print it, but I never did finish it. But it's cool. I got all kinds of goodies like this laying around. And then Space 1999, there was a guy that done a movie scale prop of that I bought a couple years ago. He sells on, I forget the name, but he's on my group quite a bit. He has links to, it's not Cult, it's some other place where he sells them. And the lunar lander, that used to go from Earth to the moon or whatever, and has a little people carried underneath that would have a cable that would lower it down. Space 1999. I printed that in a bunch of pieces, but I never did put it together. And I was going to make it like 300 or 400%, but I never did, which would probably make it about this long. Then I could just hang it from the ceiling. Then I got my Enterprise that I've never finished. I got off Game Body. I got that printed, but I've never painted it, so I need to work on that, along with everything else that I do. So I just tinker with a lot of things and don't finish much. Yeah, thank you, Sean. Yeah, I need to get it finished. I need to work on it. I started a couple of years ago, and then for whatever reason, I set it on the shelf and went on to something else. But even like that, unfinished and with the brown on it, it looks good. It needs to get a rust coat, and I need to fill the cracks where it's put together at, and it needs to get done. So at some point, I mean, if I was to go to a yard sale and I seen that model sitting there in that condition, I'd have to have it. I would have to buy it just like it is. Like, oh my God, look at this. It looks like a movie prop or something. Well, what else can I talk about? Oh, here's a, let's see, what's this guy's name? By Fragments. Oh, Doomsday. The base looks like a Captain America shield, but here's a Doomsday I did by Fragments that I've never finished. That's extremely big. It's Black Suit Superman versus Doomsday. And there's a Superman's punching him in the face. He's laying up here on the shelf, but I need to finish it. It needs to be painted. One thing I hate about a lot of these models, you print them out, and like I hate painting black on a color. I like having multiple colors when I paint something, and he's got so much gray in him, and he's gray primered that once he's all done, he's not going to look that much different. So I wish he was green or something different with a lot of different colors, but that's pretty cool. It's very heavy. And here's the Superman that goes with it. Set it back up without breaking anything. Yeah, it sucks when you drop stuff. I had Chewy last week off Game Body. I printed a Chewy, and he don't glue together. He's got like little tabs. He snaps together. He's about this tall, and he's up on the top shelf behind my TV, leaning backwards. And I heard a crash the other day, and I come in my hobby room, and he's laying on the ground. He fell about 8 feet, and all he did was broke his satchel. His legs came out, but he never broke. And it's really surprised me he didn't shatter, but he didn't break. And I'm thinking, well, how in the hell did that fall? I don't have any cats. The dogs can't get up there. It wasn't a ghost. I don't have any ghosts here. The house isn't old enough. But the day prior, I was messing around with that shelf. So maybe when I leaned him and moved him, I just didn't have him quite right. And I don't know. He just tipped over and jumped off the shelf. I had a Supergirl fall and break about a year ago that was on the top shelf. She fell off her pedestal and hit the ground, and she kind of shattered in a lot of pieces. Here's Link again. Yeah, there's Link there, Mike, Matthew. Well, hold on. I got somebody at the door. I'm not interested. Thank you. Go. Go. I'm coming. Something to do with politics and people advertising something. I'm back. Anyway, yeah, I've got a white picket fence around my driveway, and I got a doorbell out there by the street. You push the doorbell, and it chimes real loud in the house. And my dogs freak out. So thought it was FedEx or somebody bringing me some goodies in the mail, but it wasn't. Just somebody trying to give me some political crap. Anyway, yeah, I've got a zillion models everywhere. If there's anything you guys have ever thought about you might want to print, I've probably already printed it. Like here's a Shazam from Megs I did a long time ago. Now, unfortunately, when I printed this, I glued everything together, which I should have used hot glue because you know how much trouble it's going to be to try to paint this unless I can break the joints where I glued everything because everything needs to be painted individually. But that's pretty cool. Megs does really awesome work. And then by Fragments, here's a Superman Clark Kent that he did a long time ago. I've got a couple hundred things like this that are gray primered and they need to be painted. Hey, Nikita, quit barking. I'm online, all right? Cool. Hey, you're welcome to join in if you can. Do I mostly paint with airbrush or not? A little of both. I airbrush whenever I can, and small detail I try to use my little tiny paints on, like Army Painter or the little Citadel bottles or whatever they may be. Whenever I can, I'll try to airbrush bigger areas. Anyway, I'm not an expert at nothing, but I tinker with it, but I try to airbrush whenever I can. I get a lot of clogs quite a bit on my airbrush, so I started cleaning everything out. When I clean out my gun, I've been using gun cleaner to spray gun cleaner to get up all the gunked up paint and get everything out of it. And then I dump out my excess paint, and I usually keep my excess paint. I dump it back in the container. And then I go over to my sink and I rinse out the acrylic paint, and then I use airbrush cleaner and clear Windex to finish cleaning it out. And I take a Clorox wipe and clean everything up with that. Nikita, 1 second. I'm going to go yell at my dog. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey Jerry, how goes it?
Real good. 3D print newbie, how's it going? Hey Matthew, you can hear me. 3D print newbie, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, man. Yeah, that's funny that you would bring up the Nautilus sub. I actually just got done painting a let's see if I can actually flip the camera. I don't think I can on this. I just got done painting and assembling another one for a customer here.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. Let me make you full screen. I think that's the one I seen a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been sitting on my workbench for probably about 2 weeks, and finally got everything done and assembled and painted. I'd like to rework this model one of these days, though. It's begging to have an interior parlor and clear windows on this sucker. I think it'll be time to just rework the windows and make bucks out of them and vacuum form some clear windows for it.
Yeah, I see you got all the rivets on that one. Mine doesn't have that on this model.
Yeah, which I'm surprised. I know that there's probably, I don't know, three or four of these models out there floating around. But this one, I haven't been able to find this one for a while. I think somebody asked me for it, and the creator was HMS something or another. I'd have to dig around for it. I think they found it on maybe My Mini Factory.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the Juggernaut got finished today.
Turn your phone sideways, you'll be full screen. There you go. Right that way. Oh, nice.
At I don't know, between 8 and 9 rolls of filament. But
wow.
Yeah, we got everything set up with lights in the belly of it, and yeah, I think we're gonna rework it so it's not quite so big. It's funny. Cool. It looks kind of small on here, but it's a beast.
How long is it?
I'd say it's easy
6 feet.
No, I'd say probably 5 foot and some change.
Oh, cool.
5 foot and some change, and probably 15-inch diameter on it. Yeah.
Very nice. So your shop is your full-time job, or?
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm constantly cranking out. Well, not constantly, but mostly constantly.
Okay.
For folks as they approach, most of it is custom collection pieces for folks.
Yeah.
But occasionally I do the oddball stuff, and these F-bomb lamps. Like I said, I think I'm gonna go back to the drawing board a little bit. I'm gonna shrink it on the X and the Y plane, keep it the same length, but it just doesn't need to be that big around. And I'd like to take the F-bomb letters the whole way through and bring lights into backlight those and light the eyes. And then I'll probably do a
3D newbie. You're welcome to drop back in if you can ever get it working. I'm sorry you couldn't get it working. Are you at your shop? Is at your house, or you at another location?
What, for me?
Yeah.
No, it's a separate shop on the property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a real bitch of a commute.
Yeah, walk out the back door and go 50 feet.
I tell you, with wintertime coming, and especially, for us folks here in Nevada, boy, I tell you, you get these early morning chills in the 30s, and you step out the door and whew, yeah. No, I did the hour and a half, 2 hour, each way commute for a long time, and it's nice to not do that anymore. Yeah,
my sister's husband is going to drive his daughter to New York. He lives in Vegas, and Wednesday morning, he's in his mid-60s, and he's going to drive a U-Haul to New York. That's going to kill him. I said, you better drink a lot of Monsters and 5-hour energies, or you're going to fall asleep and have a problem.
That's a long haul.
Hey, Brandon. My son Brandon popped in chat. Yeah, I usually go live on. Lately, I've been doing live hangouts on Sunday. Then I got my weekly live stream on Wednesday, and then Friday I usually do something where I just hang out and chat. And I usually talk to myself for about the first hour and chat, and then people start popping in. So anyway, this time was about 45 minutes, and then you popped in, so that was cool. I appreciate it.
It's hit or miss with the live stream stuff. I think the live stream stuff is really nice for folks that just want to, have a little bit of social time face to face.
Yeah.
I think for folks outside the community, there's no carrot at the end of that stick. And it's kind of like, the days of before DVR of having to actually time something and tune in for, any kind of programming. So it's a bit counterintuitive. I'd be curious to see what your views are like on these live streams after the fact.
I don't know about this one, but usually when I do my weekly live stream, 30, 35 people watch on YouTube, and then over a period of a couple of weeks, it usually jumps up to about 100 to 150, and it usually sits there. So
yeah,
as I become bigger, the more people watch. But you never know who might be on or what they're going to talk about. That way, they're always worth watching after the fact. And people are like, well, I didn't see it live. I couldn't comment. Well, just because you comment doesn't mean it got answered. So watching it after the fact is just as good.
Yeah.
So
notification does pop up, and I don't know. I would assume you're probably the same way, where if I get any kind of notification, I really do try my best to try and respond to everybody that pipes up. I don't want to leave anybody hanging.
Yeah.
But no, it's an interesting game for sure, trying to work the YouTube numbers and just trying to pick up those subscribers. And even if you do break the subscriber count for monetization, making sure that you maintain the hourly number of hours watched requirements is key. I think it's definitely more content is better. Try and keep folks going back.
Do it for fun, and someday if it makes a buck, it makes a buck. But don't do it looking to make money, because that won't happen. Just do it to, what happens. Just do it and enjoy it.
Yeah, my big push on most of this stuff is in any nook and cranny that I can squeeze a couple pennies out of. Lights on here in the shop. I don't know. This is the first time in 3 months that my schedule is finally open, and I got a breather in the shop. Not like the breathers are too terribly bad. More often than not, I usually have a project of my own running on the sidelines, but it'll be nice to just have a couple weeks free anyway. I think I'm in the same boat as you are, where I got Christmas coming up, and now's the time out to start making shit for everybody. And then there's Ecto. I'm chomping at the bit. Nothing wrong with that file, by the way, for everybody who's interested in the Ecto. This was sheerly a mechanical issue. I had an extruder on the 410 that it's a 3D printed enclosure for the extruder, and it cracked.
How much have you got printed on Ecto? Have you got any of it done yet?
Damn thing so far. I sliced and chopped it in a couple more places, just to take some of this, because I'm printing it at 250%, just to take the supports out of the equation and save on filament and time.
Yeah.
But right now I'm just printing the grill. That grill's coming out at like 13 inches and some change wide.
Wow.
And no, 7 failures so far. And yeah, it, like I said, it was just the enclosure for the extruder. The extruder is designed a bit different on the 410s than what you typically see on a lot of the Cartesian style printers. And even though it's got a cooling fan for that stepper motor, I think it heated up too much, and the washers on the bolt started to pull through it, so it couldn't maintain tension on the drive gears that run all the way up to the extruder teeth. So that's all right.
My Hypercube has a SKR 1.4 turbo in it, and I've got an 80 millimeter PC fan about this big that's blowing on the back of it at all times.
Yeah, that's what this has got as well. But except it's underneath blowing up into it, because well, here I'll show you. Hang on. So on the 410, let's see here. On the 410, you've got your main print bay, and then you've got your whole side bay here.
Yeah.
And then you've got your extruder motor. Let's see here how clear this is. Let me see if I can kick on a light here. Yeah, that's gonna suck. Hang on. Let's see what I got for a flashlight. So your extruder motor sits down in this sucker here.
Yeah. We lost you. Oh no.
Oh, no.
There you're back.
And it in turn runs that small gear, right? Bear with me. I'm looking at the screen too here. All right. So there's a small gear down there. And then it in turn turns this big 3D printed gear here up top, which then turns the spindle.
Yeah.
And hang on. Sorry, guys. This is really wonky to do backwards with the camera the way that it is. But then you basically have 2 bearings on either side with a main shaft and your tooth. And then you've got this dual spring assembly here in the front, which tensions your upper roller down onto your filament. It's a really slick setup, and it works really well. In all due fairness, I've run this sucker pretty hard, but it basically cracked to the left right on top of the top bearing. So I ended up with a little bit of slop, in which was how I was having a hard time maintaining tension on the filament. And then, like I said, the extruder motor itself heated up enough that the bolt started to pull through. So then I wasn't maintaining tension between the lower gear and the upper gear either, which was just increasing the slop up top.
Yeah.
And I worked on it like crazy, and it's just none of my fixes are holding. They're not holding long enough to actually get a successful print out of it. So thank God for the warranty on these things, 2-year bumper to bumper on it. And that alone makes it worthwhile. But God help me the day that the warranty takes a shit on these.
Well, hopefully you get it fixed and get it printed.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good about it. I think they drop ship the replacement extruder, within like 8 hours. And so I would imagine I'll probably see it tomorrow or the day after. They typically ship it by FedEx. So we'll get it up and going. And then so far, so good on the other one. So I think I should have the grill done by tomorrow morning. So I think, update pictures are going to be trickling out as Ecto comes. I've been pumped about this project since Graphic, posted his initial pics. God, I don't know what, like a month and a half ago. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Ghostbusters diorama from Sanix. I can't get it down, but it's got a scene behind them. It's like little buildings, and it's got all 4 Ghostbusters standing up in the front. And
I bought that years ago, and
they're all about that tall.
Yeah.
It's got lights and stuff in it.
It's been sitting on my to-do list for forever and a day, but I think with that one, the issue with not having a resin printer in the shop is with FDM, if you want that detail, then you need to just bump up the scale on it.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, that's probably why I go so big on so many of these projects, is just trying to get that really good detail out of it, or make it a size that's actually manageable and sandable, where you can, get your layer lines out of it, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I think one of these days, once I add the resin printer to the equation, that project will probably come front and center. I'm looking at that new Anycubic with the mono screen on it, because it's a little bit bigger than that than the Mars, isn't it?
I think it is, but I don't remember how much. Yes, it's bigger.
Yeah,
I think it's comparable to the Saturn. I think if that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
the
Saturn
is the newest one. Because I know the Saturn is 3.5 times bigger than a Mars. It's basically 3 build plates and a half bigger, and that's what I would like to possibly get. Yeah. So whenever I get my tax money, then I'll look to see what's available for, what kind of price.
Well, and that's it too, because you look at big machines like the frozen machine, or hell, what's the other large format resin printer?
The Frozen Transform. I think they've got like 5 or 6 different models.
Yeah.
Most
and they're all
one that's around $1,800.
But Christ Almighty, what you dump in on the front end, cost wise and filament is, it's just not feasible.
Or in resin, yeah.
Yeah, and the small machines have just been too small up to this point, where I just go, I can't. It doesn't fit into the workflow. But I think I'm really happy to start seeing these machines pop up that are in the middle ground, where we can kind of balance out, material costs and build volume.
I printed a Dr. Manhattan on my Elegoo Mars from Megs, but he separates at the waist. And then, that right there, here to here, is too tall for my resin printer. So I had to cut his legs off.
Yeah.
But he was all resin printed. He came out really good.
Yeah, that's clean.
He's at 0.2 millimeter layer thickness. But it's a nice model. It's very nice.
Where'd that one come from?
Megs.
Right on.
Pretty sure this is from Megs, Dr. Manhattan. So, but I just never finished. It needs to be, I've done some sanding where I had to zit and stuff on it from the supports, but I've never painted it yet. Primed it and painted it.
It'd be an easy paint job.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones that's almost begging to be done in like a semi-transparent blue, just to give them some glow.
I know Omar Perez on Facebook. He does a lot of awesome work on his painting. Alclad. I think he works with a lot of Alclad paints, and I've never tried Alclad. And he's getting some really amazing colors with Alclad.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're acrylic. I think they're
oil based, aren't they?
Oil based. Yeah, I've never worked with oil based other than in the shop, but not on a small painting scale. I haven't.
For shame, Jerry. You're old enough. You're old enough to have grown up with testers. Come on now.
Well, yeah, stuff in the garage I've worked with on large scale, but nothing small.
I tell you, I still have a whole rack of testers, and I just about the only use for testers I have at this point is for metallics on occasion. It depends on the look I'm aiming for.
Yeah,
because those metallics just give a slightly different look than the water-based paints do. Or rub and buff, or just it just gives you that extra little tool in the arsenal. But
the colors are more brilliant, I guess you'd say.
I'm what can I say? I'm a dirty motherfucker when I paint, and paintbrushes end up in my mouth.
I'm seeing blue smoke. Where's that blue smoke coming from? Oh, blue. Blue.
It's the blue lights off the printer.
Oh, okay, that's crazy because I see blue smoke everywhere.
No, look, I'm not running a Creality machine in the office, so we're good to go.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm seeing blue. Hey, you people in chat, are you guys seeing blue too?
That's funny. I end up with paintbrushes in my mouth too often. I try to not paint with oil-based anymore.
And if I can ever afford like a Phenon or something, the first thing, like a lot of people have said, and I have to say the same thing, if I can't sell those prints coming off that, then I can't afford to buy that. Yeah. Because if it can't pay for itself right away, then there's no point. So if I can't start selling all the stuff behind me on Etsy, and I haven't tried yet, if I can start moving my stuff, then I can start creating more cool stuff. But if nobody's going to buy nothing from me, well, then there's no reason to do anything.
That's it. You know, the basic math doesn't work out. You know, I guess look, if you're doing this strictly as a hobby, and you've got a job that pays well enough that, you know, you're super into the hobby, then more power to you. But for those of us that, you know, do this for the dedicated living, yeah, that math definitely comes into play. And if you don't have, you know, a big channel with where you're making decent money out of YouTube, like Uncle Jesse or somebody does, it gets real easy to just go get sucked into it, and then all of a sudden you've got this super expensive machine that you can't afford, you know, material for, and then that defeats the whole purpose for me. You know, I mean, as is, the 410s are $5,000 a pop, but for me, you know, printing in FDM, quite frankly, they pay for themselves. You know, I can print something in half to 2/3 the time that I can on my Anycubic or Creality machines.
Well, I want to get a laser cutter, a small laser printer. I can do videos on it, and I can make money with it because I've seen everybody else around me making money on coasters. My wife bought some coasters from Walter with Country 3D. It's like, wow. And then I have the CNC in the garage, MP CNC that I built. I have to do the firmware. I got to put it on the board and configure it. I've been talking about that for a couple of weeks. I done that 3 months ago, and I still have not put the firmware on it because I can be making some really cool signs. But I just need to get off my ass and go do it. And I start tinkering with different things, and it just sits there. I need to get back and get it done.
Yeah.
So get her done.
Yeah, and it is. It's always a balancing act. You know, I think, well, for Ecto finally motivated me. I ended up ordering a, oh hell, and it should be here next month, but I ordered the DT2 by VacuForm, and it's a little desktop VacuForm unit, so that way I can do windshields, because I've lost kind of how many projects at this point. You know, we've all hemmed and hawed about, you know, resin printing and FDM printing for trying to get opaque windows, and there are so many projects I've got on my list that I just keep kind of shrugging off, because I got to come at them from really weird angles to kind of cheat the system to get slightly opaque windows. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice to have that as an extra tool in the shop. I wouldn't mind having an X-Carve. I'm not going to lie.
I know how vacuum forming works, but the plastic is fairly thick. It's heavy duty.
No, it doesn't.
It
doesn't have to be. You know, I did it for years. You know, making Stormtrooper armor and Biker Scout armor back in the 501st days.
You 3D print, you 3D print it, and you vacuum form over.
No, you know, back in the day, you know, we'd do our masters out of plaster of Paris, you know, and it was good for about a dozen pulls before, you know, the heat cool cycle. If you were doing a rapid pull, you know, doing like 10, 11, 12 suits over a weekend, that kind of heat cycling on it, it'd crack and fail. But, you know, you'd have a master, you could cast another one off of plaster.
Well, you said you want to make windshields. What would you print them out of and then vacuum form them, or how would that process work?
You know what, with this, I tell you, I was looking at my gauges of plastic, because they don't need to be too terribly thick to begin with. But I'm just gonna 3D print the bucks. The nice part with that Ecto model is he provided really nicely designed bucks for them. So I'm gonna print them in ABS, and maybe put a coat of XCC 3D over them. Maybe I don't honestly, I don't think it'll need it. So it's going to be an experimentation, but I'll be recording it. You know, successes and failures are going to pop up, and we'll see how it goes. But worst case scenario, we'll just have to, you know, make molds and reverse cast them. So we've got some bucks to vacuum form off of. But I think ABS is going to do just fine for it.
Yeah, Sean Butler, I thought about that, but I'm thinking about the build volume size and trying to print out a bunch of coasters. But sure, I guess I could get one and tinker with it that way. And, you know, of course, if everything moves just like you're printing with PLA, but you're using laser, wearing glasses, of course. But yeah, I might consider something like that. I got plenty of vendors that just sit here collecting dust.
That's a travesty.
Yeah. Well, like I say, when you look at my room and all the stuff that I have everywhere, That's why I don't print as much as I used to. I actually ran out of money. I ran my credit card up that I had and paid it off. And then I ran it. I said, well, I'm not going to do that again. And what happened? A matter of months later, I ran it back up again. So when I get donations or I sell stuff, then I'm able to buy things. But yeah, I've got hundreds of models. I literally have hundreds of models that I could paint. So I don't ever have to print again. I have enough stuff. I could paint something every week when I'm not procrastinating, and I would never run out of something to paint by the stuff that's already done.
Yeah.
And you know how it is. Like people say, what's your favorite print? Well, every time you print something at the time, that's your favorite. You had to have it. And then
that's your new hot. Yeah.
And then once that's done, oh, I got to have this, or I got to have that, or you have 100 of them on your hard drive already waiting.
I think the thing that I like about it most is, there's the occasional project that pops up where I just go, yeah, this one's a keeper. I don't want to let it go. And I may feel that way for a year, for 2 years. Sooner or later, something's going to come along the pipeline where I finally go, all right, no, let's just liquidate it and let it move on. My personal collection has been cyclic for so long that very rarely do I get overly attached to shit. And I think that's probably why when most folks approach me and they've seen something I've built and they go, hey, can I have one? I go, well, more often than not, I probably have. If someone else hasn't beaten you to it, I probably have the one that I built, and everything's for sale. I don't fuss about it. I just turn around, toss it in the box, and off it goes.
That Nautilus you're building, what's something like that worth? Like $500?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking by looking at it, because I know the kind of time that goes in it.
Yeah, print time's not terrible on it. The model's designed well, where it doesn't require a ton of support. And I chopped it up a couple more places just to kind of minimize on that.
I try to go basically 3 times whatever I got into something. Not necessarily print time, but your PLA, how long did it take you to clean up the model? How long did it take you to paint it over however long? And then I usually base that times 3.
It depends on the pieces. There's honestly, if you're just doing models like this that you've scrounged elsewhere, I don't typically tend to go that hard, because I need to remain competitive. The reality is that the model isn't really worth anything until I've sold it. So I don't typically try to gouge over much for my time. God, that is gorgeous.
This is from Meg's Red Hulk. Something like this to me is worth $150.
Yeah. Yeah, easily.
And a lot of that would be just in the paint work. I'm not an expert painter, but I can judge my own work to a certain extent.
And like I tell folks, most folks, I go, look, if you don't paint, if you don't know how to paint, I would encourage you to hop online, look at miniature tabletop wargaming, and take a look at what the size of those figures are, and take a look online what it will cost you to have a little squad of 4 or 5 of those painted up. And that's a real nasty eye-opener for folks, where they just go, that's insane. And I go, no. That's called paying somebody for their skill and their time. Now, that being said, what I charge in time and whatnot for that is a whole hell of a lot less, simply because I've been doing it so long, and what I'm building is so much larger that more often than not, I just know how to cheat the system on my paint jobs. There's the occasional piece like that Jack Skellington diorama piece that I did here a little bit ago, where that's the first paint job in a long, long time that almost broke me. It was 8:00 at night. I'd been painting stripes for hours. And I had this moment where I just went, oh my God, if I paint another stripe, I'm gonna shoot myself in the face. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm glad I plugged through and got it done. But that being said, if anybody ever wants to buy that piece, you're paying a premium for
And for close-up work, these work really good.
Oh God, I'm getting there. I've got a big swing arm magnifying glass, lit magnifying glass, and I've been eyeballing those like crazy. That's the one with the interchangeable lenses on it, yeah?
Yeah, it's got like 10 different ones it comes with. Got it off of Amazon. Somebody posted an ad on Facebook for some company. It's like, well, let me check Amazon. Everything's on Amazon, and you know they weren't very expensive. Because I don't know if it's just as you get older, you can't see nothing. So then you wear reading glasses, and then you got to have more light. When I'm in the kitchen and I want to read a can, I'm over at the stove, and I don't have my glasses. I'm holding the can back here. I'm trying to read what the directions say.
Aches, pains, hearing loss, eyesight loss, getting old is rad.
Yeah, my favorite word to my wife is "huh."
Yeah.
Everything she says, I go, "Huh? What'd you say?"
Like too many explosions, too much gunfire, too many loud airplanes. My hearing is shot.
Yeah. Well, I worked construction for a lot of years, so I've heard a lot of loud noises.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just bad about it. I hate jamming shit in my ears, so I just even in the shop now. But I'm like that about everything. I'm sure I'll die early.
Here's a Mandalorian I done. It's not perfect, but looks pretty good.
I've got that sucker in my wish list. I keep hemming and hawing about it.
From Tony Chambers over in 3D Model Crowdfund on Facebook. I believe the file's like $15.
Yeah, I think I saw that one pop up. It's either on CG Trader or Colts 3D. I believe he's selling it there too.
The hardest thing about painting a lot of these models is since they're not exactly like the original, you print out multiple pictures, you Google pics, and you can't really find that exact scheme. So you got to kind of figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
I put glue on the base and I put sand on it to try to be different. I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought some play sand or whatever it was and put sand on it for the base.
You hand brush everything, or do you airbrush too?
A little bit of airbrush and hand brushing, a little bit of both. Whenever I have something big like a cape, I usually airbrush it. It depends what it is. A little bit of both.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. I remember as a kid, you'd be able to go just about anywhere, and they had a model section. And these days, outside of going to a hobby store, trying to find model kits is like pulling teeth. But I grew up building a hell of a lot of model kits.
Yeah,
and I'm amazed how many people 3D printing has kind of brought back into the fold that have never touched an airbrush and don't know squat about painting techniques.
Well, 3.5 years ago when I started back up, I hadn't painted anything since I was a kid or used an airbrush ever. So I watched a couple of videos and I kind of figured it out. I still don't know that I have it 100% figured out, but I do what I do.
Yeah.
And when it works. Sometimes I get clogs and this snaps. I got to thin things out more, but everything's on YouTube. There's somebody that's done a video on just about anything and everything.
That's it. God help me the day that the world ends and YouTube no longer exists, because it is my life crutch. Whether it's working on one of our one of our rigs or learning how to do something new around the house, it is always run to YouTube. I tell so many of these kids that I just go, look, either you want to learn or you don't, and grasp the concept up front that you're not going to be an expert in 30 seconds or less, and you need to put your thinking cap on, and either you want to learn or you don't. And if you do, then the information's there, and here's some helpful links to get you started.
When I first started painting, I went to Walmart and I bought a bunch of cheap apple barrel paint, and
people knock it.
It works. I use it all the time for bases and large things. It works great.
Yep.
And they're pretty basic colors, but when you compare a little tiny bottle might cost $3 or $4. This costs like 50 cents. You usually go to the big one before you waste a little one, have to order more.
Yep. I prime and base everything in Rust-Oleum. I stock Rust-Oleum in the shop like crazy.
Rattle can, right?
Rattle can. I rattle can everything.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back through with an airbrush and base everything in custom mixed little apple barrel colors.
Yeah.
And then once I'm done with that, then I move on to serious hobby paints. But once you get into war painter and Vallejo paints, that shit's expensive. I got to watch my bottom line. But there again, know your paints, folks. Know that your water-based paints can't go underneath your oil-based paints. So you need to pay attention to what layers are. Plan your paint job from start to finish. Know what's going where. Yeah. Especially if you're going to do it this way.
Anybody in chat have any questions? Or if anybody would like to drop in and hang out, I'll put the link in chat again. If I know you, you're welcome to hang out, because last Friday I got trolled by a couple people that I let in.
Did you?
Yeah.
What happened?
One guy, he had like a picture up and he wasn't saying much. And then another person like, hey, I want you to 3D print a comic that I made or this or that. And then the third guy popped in, had a picture of what looked like flying chickens on the screen or turkeys or something. But there looked like there's a great big wiener right behind all this and they're starting to disappear. So I kicked all three of them out and laughed it off and we went on. But
note to self.
It was kind of funny.
Spam Jerry next time.
Yeah. And it was funny because I was setting up Twitch that morning. So I want to start streaming on Twitch also. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm not on Twitch yet. Why is this happening to me? Because this has never happened before. But
I'm just going to pull a war cocky on you. You know,
yeah, it's kind of funny.
Every time I hop into your chat, somewhere in the background, there's going to be a 3D printed dick somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, on Hangouts, I don't really mind stuff like that. But when I do my weekly thing where I'm trying to be professional, have a guest on, then I don't go there. So, but Hangouts are, you know, they're kind of open to just about anything. I try not to discuss politics and crap like that, but, you know.
Yeah, these days.
Everybody's allowed to have their opinion, you know, whatever everybody wants to believe, that's their, you know, their right. So
glad to have a break from it. Yeah, I got on a guy, I don't know, here probably 3 or 4 weeks ago on Facebook for bringing that sort of shit in on one of my threads. And I just went, no, please take it somewhere else. This is the one place I come to escape from that crap.
Yeah, whenever you can, 3D Print Newbie. I'm here every week. I live stream 2 or 3 times a week. You're always welcome to pop in and hang out. And like I say, you can stream on your phone. Matthew's on his phone now, I believe, and you just set it down.
Yeah.
You know, most people that have a smartphone, they can stream from their phone. Just click on the link on your phone and you check your camera and boom, you can pop in that easy. So anyway, but questions are welcome. Anybody has anything to ask me or Matthew, here we are. Or here we is.
Here we is.
He lives in, I believe, Carson City, Nevada, and I'm in Las Vegas. Carson City, right?
Yeah. Yeah, nice little sweet spot. Not like there's a long list of habitable places in our lovely state, but yeah.
3D Print Newbie's trying to pop in. It says device not connected, but he tried. He'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm not 3D Print Newbie. I'm not seeing your picture. It says device not connected. Okay, he's trying again. Here he is. He's coming in.
Oh.
It's buffering. It's a black screen, but it's trying.
So I tell you,
there he is.
All right. Ahoy.
Can you hear us now? I can't hear you.
Did you authorize
I can't hear you.
Access to your microphone?
Can't hear you. Yeah, your phone will work. Yeah, just log in with your phone. When you log in with the phone, then I'll just delete this one here.
And don't feel bad. Because honestly, I think that my face has made that expression so much this last week, trying to teach myself how to use Discord in preparation for VRF this next weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm banging my head against a wall, man. I think most of the folks that set this shit up, they just assume that everyone is a guru. And I go, look, I'm just a dude that knows how to build shit. I don't do the technological side.
Yeah, I filled out their app on Twitter. I was hoping to get accepted, and I didn't. So, oh well, maybe some other time.
Yeah, I didn't do a thing. They just they happened to. I guess somebody tagged my stuff, or somebody piped up, and
oh, cool.
And they just said, "Hey, want to be part of it?" And I was like, "Sure." I don't know what the hell it is, but I'll be part of it.
What do they give you? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah. You know, pretty much. Most of the all of the exhibitors, they got little 5-minute windows. And then my wife's heading out of town for the weekend, so I'll be on Discord basically all weekend long, except for that. So if anybody's got questions or wants to jump in, I'll be there, and then make. Man, it's been a really long day. Excuse me, my brain's starting to fritz out. There's an online after party too as well. So I think you'll see a lot of folks from the community that are going to be jumping.
Yeah, I'll be watching it.
Yeah, it'll be a good opportunity for folks just to chit chat back and forth and touch base, and not like most of us don't on a weekly basis anyway. But yeah, so no, I'm along for the ride, like most things in my life, where I just go, okay, cool. Oh, sure, I'll figure it out.
Huh.
3D
newbie, you can hear me okay, probably. So maybe you can log in with your cell phone and not with your computer. Take the phone in your hand and use that link on your phone and access through your phone only. Try that.
Yeah, because then it'll just use the camera and the microphone on your phone.
But at least we got to see you, so that's a plus. When this video is over tomorrow, when you log back in to see this, you're going to see your face on there, because I'll pick a scene that has everybody in it. And you go, hey, look, I'm on TV, or I'm on YouTube.
Look, all I'm saying is, if the microphone thing is going to be an excuse, the least that you could do is show up with a dry erase board.
Yeah.
So we've got something to roll
hold
with.
Up signs. Yeah. Where I'm kidding, you don't have to hold up a sign. Yeah, whenever somebody's in chat or I'm doing a live stream or whatever it is, I always try to recognize everybody's comment, unless there's so many I can't. But I never, ever want to ever ignore anybody, because when I pop into a live stream and chat and I say hi and there ain't much going on in chat and the person hosting it doesn't say something to me, I get madder than hell about it, because I like to be at least say hi, wave to me or something, because I do it to everybody.
Anytime I hop into somebody else's StreamYard, 9 times out of 10 I'm on my phone, and so I don't even check the chat. So if anybody has asked something, I don't even know how many people we've got in chat, but please know I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see you.
There's 16 people on YouTube, and if anything pops up, I'll throw it on the screen.
Yeah, right on.
If anybody has any questions for Matthew, he's a guru at making and painting all kinds of everything. He's got tons and tons of props.
I just pull it out of my ass as I go, but they're pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie.
Most of my stuff are figurine type stuff, so he's doing lots of stuff a lot bigger than what I'm doing on most of his work.
Yeah, I typically I stick to ships, and which have fun with that Enterprise, by the way.
It's not done, but I printed it in PETG. I should have used PLA, but at the time, all I had was a bunch of PET G laying around.
Why you should have? Why do you think you should have done it in PLA?
Because I have a lot of scarring on it from PLA stringing. I printed it on my Hypercube, and I have a lot of scarring on it and things. So my Hypercube just wasn't dialed in right. Let me find the saucer section. I'll show you.
Having the profile dialed in is definitely key.
Just grab it. This ain't the saucer section, but here's part of it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, for long-term longevity of that model, I sure as hell wouldn't print it in PLA, just because the nacelle supports tend to sag over time, even on ABS model kits for it. Have you ever done an Enterprise before?
No.
Not
what I've watched them throughout the years over and over and over and over.
Well, Google ZYLTECHing. Be very familiar with it, and be prepared to make your masks for it, because it's worse than the Star Destroyers are. It's everything Star Trek, Starfleet related. It's Aztecing.
3D print Llama, how's it going? Llama may or may not come in. He's been on a lot of streams today, but if you'd like to join us, Llama, you're very welcome. 3D print newbie he can hear us, but he can't talk. But he
can look really good.
Yeah, he looks good on camera though.
Hey, did you not have no dice with logging in on your phone?
If you log it, no, you're watching YouTube on your phone. Take the link, take the stream link, and log in with the stream link as if you're not logging into your PC, and then I'll pop you in.
Look through the comments on YouTube, and you'll see the stream link.
I just posted it right above non-fam. It's right here. I'll put it on the screen. Yeah. Yeah, non-fam, you're welcome to pop in too if you'd like.
And then just be sure that you mute it or close it down on your close out the YouTube app once you get logged in. That way, otherwise you're gonna have double audio on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's widescreen for us. Maybe.
Show me again. Show me again.
Yep. Yeah, so go on ahead and enter that. There's Llama. What's going on, Llama?
What's up?
It says you're in a broadcast studio. Yeah, you want to enter it. It'll check your camera and mic.
You're entering. It's trying to enter. Why is he trying to enter on his phone while
you don't have any? You don't have any.
The mic on his unit is acting up, so we figured to swap him over to phone.
Oh.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's not logging in. Okay. Well, if he was logging in, I would have seen it pop up on my end. It would have beeped, and I could have popped him in. He'll get
really
it.
Weird.
You'll get it.
How you doing today?
Just peachy. I'm actually starting to get cold. I might have to put some layers on. It's a whole 60 degrees.
I thought the weather was starting to cool down. I want to wear long sleeve shirts. I missed wearing my sweats and long sleeve shirts.
Where are you at?
I got sweats on. I got long-legged sweats. Normally I wear short sweats, but it's long-legged. My toes are a little cold. It's bizarre.
Where are you at?
60. It's 68 in here, that's comfortable for me, but I'm actually cold. I was outside working all day, playing in the yard. So
where are you at?
Connecticut.
Where's home though?
Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
And it's breezy out too.
I think their winners give ours a run for their money.
Yeah, Llama was out back about a week ago doing a video, and it's like, wow, look at all those trees. That is so cool. Because all I got dirt here in Vegas, I don't got shit to look at.
Trees are limited around here. I'm in kind of an enclosed area of the beach community because it's all swampy around me. There's still a lot of houses, but there's not that many homes. Most of them.
I'll settle for Swampy Beach. I think that's we wanted a house on the hill, so we got a house on the hill, and next up, I think retirement will be beach house somewhere.
There's if you straight out this window is waterfront. You just can't see it because the train tracks are in the way. The train tracks are built up higher than my house is.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because you got a big berm then, yeah?
Actually, it's kind of where we're swamped. There's like two mountains. I'm kind of like a hat. I live in the little crest, but the two sides come up higher. Gotcha. And the train tracks have to bridge over. And it sucks because they're redoing it because they're trying to put the high-speed 200-mile-an-hour train in, and the town's fighting them. So now they're realigning the tracks, like they're literally moving them like a foot here and a foot there, so they can go from 65 to 95 or whatever and bank the corners. And so they're pissing the town off doing stupid little rinky-dink crap here in town because the town they want to do an underwater bridge. Going underneath because the Connecticut River is right over here, like 2 miles away, and they want to go under the Connecticut River with a tunnel.
Rad.
But to do it, they have to go through classic historical old line, right on the edge of it. They don't have to damage any historical buildings, but it's going to be this modern complex on the end of historical old line, which is 200 years old. This is like one of the first
founding fathers built. Yeah.
There's churches here that are over 200 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I don't know. It's at the end that no one's going to see it. You got 95 in the way. It's like, what do you care? Highway, Route 95 is there. They made 95. Check this out. I don't know if you heard about this, but like 15 years ago, we rebuilt the Baldwin Bridge for the fourth freaking time because it keeps blowing over in hurricanes. And the state made it 6 lanes, 3 lanes on each side to compensate for the traffic. They rebuilt it because it blew over. It didn't blow over, but it was getting damaged.
Yeah.
It was restricting traffic. There was more traffic flow from New York to Boston. It's a main throughway from New York to Boston, blah, blah, blah. It was a jam spot. So every weekend we had traffic issues here, like 30, 40-mile traffic jams. Racing, go weekend. So they built this massive bridge, figuring, okay, we'll take it and make it 3 lanes from here to Route 395, which is the major throughway up to Boston and Massachusetts. No, Olan said, oh, we have a classic historical bridge here that's all out of stone. You can't tear it down. Now, it's a highway bridge. It's a bridge for the highway. It was built. It is stone. It's pretty. The state said, we will reface the new bridge. Nope, won't do it. Town voted them out. So this bridge goes from 4 lanes on either side. It's actually 8 lanes wide, even though they say it's 6, because we actually have our own ramp lane all the way over the bridge. You get into that. That's for getting off in either O-Line here or Saybrook on the other side of the bridge. So there's actually 4 lanes. There's 3 lanes of highway and a 4th lane for local traffic. Narrows down to 2 lanes. Like that.
Fucking bottleneck. I love it.
It's like they built this multi-billion-dollar bridge. It is the first ever Caterpillar-built bridge. I don't know if you know all about the Caterpillar crane. The thing's built in midair. It's bizarre. They use this new crane, and it's basically a Tinker Toy bridge. Each piece is molded in concrete, full width. Yeah, but it's not. They're like 4 to 6 foot wide and like 70 or 80 foot long, which is wide now. But they're only like 4 foot wide, and it's just this concrete like diamond with a bunch of little fingers in it and some holes. And this crane, instead of like your normal crane that comes up and has an arm and reaches out with a cable, this crane is a big long caterpillar. And what it does is it sticks out like 30 feet and locks itself back here to the actual bridge as it's building it. But it actually made it so instead of having 6 piers across the river, we now only have 3 piers going across the river.
Wow.
Because this thing would bring out the piece, lock itself back to the pier, be 200 or 300 feet long crane, floating out 60 feet into the air, plus all the distance. But the way the bridge is built, as each piece comes in and locks together, it has a cable that they tie knotted on, and they're finger jointed. So when the next piece locks on, it's floating in midair, like 100 feet out from the pier, just floating there with a crane on top of it, floating another 60, 80 feet out in the air over the river.
That's got to be pucker factor for the operator the first couple times to learn how to use
there's
that
like
machine.
10 guys that operate the thing at once. It's like this big. You wouldn't even look at it as a crane if you saw this thing. You should look it up. It's
really, I'm going to look it up on
interesting.
YouTube. I'm really curious. My wife's a civil engineer, so it's one of those where I just go, ooh, new technology.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's a Caterpillar crane.
I don't know.
It's like a major thing now. Most bridges are actually being built this way now because it's actually cheaper. Because the only expense was the original crane, and the crane is modular. Like, as the piece goes in, the crane piece gets brought up and over and around and set in the front. And as it brings that crane piece over, it brings the next piece of the bridge over. So as the bridge gets built out, the crane gets built out with it.
That's a trip.
Yeah, and it just like locks itself to the bridge, and each piece.
And they kind of keystone together too, yeah?
Exactly. Yeah. They're zigzaggy finger joint. It's not like a smooth face.
Yeah.
They have zigzag teeth. So as one piece locks into the other, they tighten a dozen cables or whatever.
That's cool.
But it also has like a full bicycle walkway in the middle, and it's all enclosed, and servicing, access to all the cables so they can go back and service and replace cables if they need to. And it all interlocks.
And the cables, once the whole thing's locked together, the cables are just there for reinforcement, not for main structure.
It's glued and screwed together as it goes.
Yeah.
Together. But the cables, the other thing is the way it's designed, even though it's concrete, it has flex.
Yeah.
It'll shift and move because of the way they're
otherwise you just end up with like the nutty narrows up in Tacoma.
Yeah. But that was the big thing, is now we can bring, because we used to have issues with the old original steel iron beam bridge. We have a couple of, like Essex and historical boat restorations. And these guys were coming up with these, what the hell is that 200-year-old boat?
The old tall ship?
Yeah, there's a buttload. I mean, we have the Eagle here, which is the actual Coast Guard's tall ship. Which, anyway, we don't service those at the sub base because we have the nuclear submarine base and marine base. They service them up in Essex. The problem was they were coming up, and they literally would have to chainsaw the top of the mast off to get them under the bridge. Literally, the guy would go up there, chainsaw the top of the mast off, drop it down, freaking bring it through. I mean, they started making it so it was like a lock together thing.
So you just pop the top
off, get underneath the bridge, go in, because Essex is a major historical boat repair place.
Yeah, you get up through Portland and Seattle and Tacoma and stuff. Every bridge is designed either tall enough or they've got lifts built into them.
Amistad, I think it is the slave ship that got taken over by the slaves. And
yeah.
We have a replica here that's 1/3 size or 3/4 size that they built for that reason, because they couldn't get it underneath the frickin' bridge. And now there's the original.
Damn it! I cannot think of the name of that ship to save my
Amistad,
life.
I think. I'm pretty sure it's Amistad or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
But the original, which isn't original, the original replica that's full size, because the original one's buried in the beach over here or something. Because I found it. It's in the sand dunes over here.
Did they?
Yeah. It got uncovered under the last hurricane.
Yeah, I remember because I was stationed out at Bragg, and around the time they found the monitor.
So they knew it was there. They just didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
And we found 3. The last major hurricane back, Gloria uncovered a couple. There's 4 or 5 dead ships out here. Most of them are from the Civil War or from, the Revolutionary War.
Revolutionary period, yeah.
A boatload, because I don't know if you know all about New London and Griswold and all of that. Because the whole, don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. That was it. Griswold.
Yeah.
That was right down the road that way. Rather historical area around here. It's all the nuclear submarine base is here.
Oh God,
ED is here. You got all of Essex is here, which is a very historic. You've got Mystic Seaport here. Believe it or not, literally right out this window, not a mile that way, used to be the shipyard. The stupid little boat they tow behind the boat?
Yeah.
The little safety boat. There's a name for them.
Yeah.
Those were originally built right here. The original ones that the U.S. military made to tow behind their boats was built right over here at Rocky Neck State Park.
That's cool.
Filament Frenzy, if I could only keep one printer, it would be a CR10. It's probably the biggest. My Hypercube is a lot bigger, but it's not 100% dialed in right now, and I haven't got perfect prints off of it. So all the other printers that work great, I'd have to say the CR10.
If I could only keep one printer, I'd go over to England, I'd steal one of yours and bring it home. I'd steal one of your freaking Prusias or something there. What's up, Frenzy?
I'd love nothing more.
Jump in here.
I don't know. I feel like if anyone ends up making a really rock solid large format FDM printer, I hope that Prusa does it at some point.
I mean, he flat out said it in his. I don't know if you ever watch his weekly.
Yeah.
They do now.
Yeah.
He flat out said it. It's
The
on hold.
perfect size would be 400 by 400 by 500 because a CR tent isn't quite big enough to do helmets that a lot of people might like to do. It needs to be a little bit bigger. And because on a hypercube, if you can get it dialed in right, it's perfect. The bed don't move. So the hypercube would be perfect.
Someone buy me a bed. I can make that 450 cube.
The
300 by 450 height right now because I can't get a bed bigger than 300 for it.
There he is. Can you hear us now? Oh,
Nope.
Can't hear you.
You got to turn your mic on, man.
Are you on a PC?
Have you gotten a look at it yet there, Tom? I'm assuming you probably have one already, a beta unit. You're like one of the 10 beta guys that Gruja kisses butt. How's that brown freaking little butthole of yours being kissed all the time there, Tom? Getting all moist.
3D print newbie.
Right.
If you log in only with your phone, and then you'll be talking on your phone, and we'll see you on your phone only.
Well, I think he's got that bit figured out. I'm just curious. I'm assuming you went to go join chat, and then what happened with the app? Because all of a sudden, poof, you were gone.
Poof, you were gone. So why isn't he got audio? I don't get why he doesn't have audio. What is he using for a camera? Doesn't he have like a Logitech crap camera?
Yeah, we should see you on your phone right now. We shouldn't see you on your PC or whatever it is.
You should be able to do both. You can do both at the same time.
I mean, theoretically.
Yeah, there should be. I should get another chirp, and he should be logged in. Here, let me make the full screen. Hold that up again.
Yeah, that's not in StreamYard, though. That's the YouTube.
That's YouTube.
So once you click the link, it'll take you to StreamYard.
Click the link on your phone. Yeah.
Just like you did last time. And then when it asks you to it says you're getting ready to enter a live studio, say yes, enter. It'll ask you for permission to use your camera and mic, say yes. And then it'll ask you to just punch in, whatever your name you want to have show up on here, punch that in and then hit join. And then you'll be in on your phone and you can close everything out on your computer and your TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what Matthew's doing right now.
Yeah, I can do it on this thing in about 2 seconds, but I'm not going to.
Llama, did you see the F-bomb?
The what?
Yeah, you're almost there. Once you click in, then I'll hear it beep on my side, and I'll bring you in the stream.
Yeah. What do you got, a monstrous F-bomb now?
Yeah, my obscene waste of filament for the last couple of weeks.
How big is that thing? Like 2.5, 3 feet long?
No, it's a hair over 5 feet long. And
Is it that big? It doesn't look that big.
Yeah.
How far behind you is it?
monster. I threw the video up on YouTube so you can see the small one as I picked it up that would fit in my hand. And then it was like 2 hands to get this sucker up and onto the damn bench.
Nice.
But yeah, rigged the whole thing up to be extra lights for the workbench.
That's cool. You do some of the wildest, stupid shit, man.
No, only when I'm left unattended.
I really want to.
Hey, there he is.
Okay, you got me now?
Yeah.
Okay, let me turn down my TV.
Yeah, turn off the TV.
Volume.
Yeah, you might as well just completely close out the YouTube on your computer.
Well, sometimes I leave it on the TV if I'm using it, so it's easier to see.
Yeah.
That can't see chat on mobile.
Okay, well, I'm back here. So, but yeah, I don't know what the problem is with my webcam and the microphone. I just have to go and get a new one.
Turn your phone sideways. There you go. Now you're full screen.
Woo! We're getting there.
Okay,
Perfect.
parted like a rock star.
Yeah, there you go.
It's time
So anyway,
Ecto 1 bumper. That sucker's finally.
So, hey, Jerry, I want to say thank you very much for getting me my sticker.
Yeah, no problem.
I did not see the link on there for the PayPal.
Okay.
Yeah, I have mine too, but I have not taken out the envelope yet because I can't go out in public because of my LS and stuff like that. But I wanted to put it on my wheelchair so everybody can see it when I go roll around. So I'm kind of holding on to it a little bit.
I'm glad you got it.
Yeah, thank you very much. You and Betty Boo. I really appreciate you guys. So I've learned a lot from you, a lot from Brian. I have one question, okay? And as the name says, it's 3D Print Newbie. How do you get into Marlin? Do I have to plug the computer into the printer, or is it just a program I get into on the computer?
You download the program from the website and you log into it from your computer to edit it with Visual Studio Code. There's a few other programs.
You need Visual Studio Code with a bunch of plugins.
Okay.
I don't know. Watch either Chris Riley or Teaching Tech and just go through it step by step with them because it's way complicated.
Do you buy stuff from TH3D Studios at all?
Yes.
Okay. You can go on his website and he's got step-by-step tutorials on how to set up Visual Code Studio with different programs in order to edit the firmware. He explains it all in detail, or you can watch someone's video on YouTube.
The other thing is Teaching Tech just did the plug-in to do the auto assigning thing where it auto builds it for you. So you get the plugin, you get your Platform IO plugin, but you also get the Marlin plugin for it, not the Marlin software or firmware, but the Marlin plugin. And instead of sitting there trying to figure out all the code, you just go, this is what board I have, this is what printer I have, this is what size it is. It'll auto build the whole thing for you and then upload it to your printer.
Okay, so that is the Big Tree Tech.
That'll do. No, Teaching Tech.
Teaching Tech.
Because I saw on Big Tree Tech to where you can go on there and you can download stuff onto your SD card and just go ahead and put it into your printer, and it's all formatted and everything else.
Yeah, but it's formatted for the board, not necessarily your printer. Every printer has its own little glitchy things you got to add.
Okay, that's where I'm lost at. So,
Michael Law has a channel called Teaching Tech. Subscribe to Teaching Tech.
I subscribe to him.
And just like with Timothy in the cloud, you go in and you pick your printer, your board, different settings that you want based on your printer. Once you download the .bin file, you put that on your SD card in your printer, your computer. You walk over to your printer, pop it in, turn it on. It reflashes it and resets it right then and there, and you're good to go. And then you got to save it to Tom.
I can't tell where his T-shirt ends and his tattoos start. The way the lighting is on your arm, it's like they were blended. I just looked at it and was like, "Is he got an American flag tattooed on his chest?" Oh no, that's a T-shirt.
Who says I'm wearing a T-shirt?
Mine go the same way.
Yeah, it's just the way the lighting is, the way his is right now. Like the sleeve, he just moved so you can see it now, but you couldn't see the sleeve and stuff.
Question for you, newbie.
That's kind of cool.
Why do you want to mess with Marlin?
I'm sorry?
Why do you want to mess with Marlin?
Every time I've sat back and I've watched videos on how to do things and how to work with 3D printers and how to improve my prints, everybody's always talking about Marlin. So,
So,
like
look,
3D print newbie, so I'm wanting to learn. So, if you're going to tell me something that's going to help me out, please tell me.
How long have you what printer do you have and how long have you had it?
I have two Ender 3s. I've had them for about 4 months now, and I'm waiting for the Ender 3 Max to come out.
So, look,
what you say, Matthew, and I'm right with you.
What I see regularly is I see folks that get into this hobby, and they skip the 101 and 102 stuff, and what they see is they climb on Thingiverse and they see that everybody and their Uncle Bob is modifying their machines, and they get under the impression that you need to fuck with shit to get your prints good. The reality of it is that all of these machines, unless there's something mechanically faulty with them, they will give you good prints. You just got to learn the 101 and 102 stuff about your slicer, about your machine. You need to think about how your machine runs. You need to think about what faces give you the best print quality and orientation of your prints. There's a whole slew of stuff from here to modifying, and this
Yes,
shit
sir.
is really, really important as a baseline. One of the places that I push people, I think it's either S3D or I'll hunt around. Do me a favor, drop drop your email out there somewhere where I can find it.
Jerry has it.
I've got a couple links that I can send you that I call them the print Bible, and they are set up with pictures and descriptions. And so you can go through and you can do your prints, and then you can take a look at them and compare them with the print Bible and figure out what's wrong. And then that points you in the right direction for what you need to tweak, what you need to adjust. And it's just little adjustments here and there. And then before you know it, you're getting decent prints. And then, from there, you're getting great prints. And very rarely, unless what I see are that there's like three kind of people in this hobby. There's the people who print calibration cubes by the hundreds and benchies, and they don't ever progress past that because they just eat, breathe, and sleep benchies. There's the folks who just really like to print, and they just get their machine dialed in, and then they move on from there. And the only thing you need to learn is basic maintenance on it. And then there's the tech guys who really don't give a shit about the prints at the end of the day, don't give a shit about the art. They just want to tinker and build really cool machines. So that's where Llama falls. I fall into the middle section where I just want to build really cool, weird shit. And I swear to God, the Benchies and Baby Groots just bore the shit out of me, and they just make me want to kill myself every time I see one pop up. Not to say that they don't serve their purpose, but
if you want to add a filament runout sensor, an easy ABL or something like that to your board, you need to mess the firmware. But if you want to manually level the bed and you don't need a filament runout sensor, like he says, you just need to tweak your slicer to get your best performance out of your printer. But I think every printer needs a filament runout sensor, because if you run low, you're going to run out of filament, and you want to use it all up and then load the next spool.
It's either that or you're keeping your machines close to where you're at, and you're pausing your prints when you sleep. Lord knows there's plenty of people that do that crap too, and I did that for probably my first few months anyway until I moved on. But this business with like auto leveling and EBL sensor and all the rest of that business, look, those are convenience features like power fucking windows. It's not something that you need, and quite frankly, the knowledge that you gain by learning how to level your damn bed, learning how to keep the damn thing level from the get-go, I find that information is actually it pays more dividends in the long run for success.
My answer is learn to slice, learn to control your machine.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question. What is, in Llama's opinion, Jerry's opinion, in your opinion, what do you guys consider? What do you guys consider to be the most level or comparable slicer out there? Because I'm using the Creality slicer,
which is Cura.
Which is a version of Cura. I've used S3D since I first got into printing. The reason I paid $150 is I paid all this money for the printers and filament. At the time, I thought I want the best possible program to slice everything with. Cura has came a long way since then. And when I got the Ender 3 V2 from Creality to review, I had never used Cura before. And like a month or so ago, I did a couple videos on it, and I printed perfectly fine with a stock profile in Cura. Some have pluses, some have minuses. Every slicer has good points to it. I'm happy with S3D. A lot of people are happy with Cura. Mama, I'm not sure how you stand on that.
S3D was once, a long time ago, a good program. I won't ever use it again because the people who run the company are a bunch of scumbag, lazy slime balls.
They came with, they want you to pay for all that stuff and everything else after they've done that stuff.
Here's the thing. in all reality, and people are going to fight over this, but Cura is by far the most powerful slicer out there. It has the most settings. There is literally a million settings in Cura. That's kind of why I don't like it. Prusa slicer is probably your best medium grade, do everything, just kind of works. I dislike that too because it just makes me feel like I'm using Windows 98 all the time. It just bothers me like that. It's just the interface, and they made the build platform all pretty, but the minute you get into the settings, I feel like I'm in Windows 98.
Yeah.
Idea Maker is my go-to now because it does everything that S3D used to do, does a lot more, is the only one that does the multiprocessing properly, is completely controllable, is the only other one besides S3D that does actual manual supports that you can control manually, which Cura and Prusa Slicer are the worst two at supports, and their manual control of supports are so absolutely disgustingly.
It gets so painfully slow. I waste so much time. Say,
if Prusa Slicer comes out with the paint on supports that they're promising in the next version or two that they demoed it and they said it's not ready yet. It's got too many glitches. It breaks the software a lot, but they demoed it and they showed that it is possible and they're working on it. That might be even better than Idea Maker because you can literally just take your mouse or a pen and go, and the sports
that's how it fucking should be. Like, it's not rocket science.
Well,
it's such a simple fucking thing to be able to.
It's not because of the geometry of the model.
Look, I know, but I just go, even Mesh Mixer can do really basic shit where I just go, draw your area and tell it to do one simple thing. All you have to do is just go look and have it stop wherever the geometry stops, but it's constrained inside whatever shape you've done. It strikes me, look, under the hood, I don't do the tech side of it, but it strikes me from a
noob. I would go out and say right now,
and want to make you have to come back and pay more money.
Yeah.
Well,
everything in real life other than 3D printing, when you get other updates or other versions, it costs more money. Just like with my software for editing videos, every year they come out with a new version, and if you want it, you have to pay more money. So us expecting it S3D and all the updates free forever, you have to pay for it everywhere else. Why wouldn't we have to pay for it here?
Yeah, you're always going to have to pay for it, Jerry. That's just the way of life. So we just all have to accept it.
Luckily, it's not a monthly charge. Look at the companies that charge you a monthly fee, Llama, that they want everything.
I never had a problem paying. I bought S3D. I did not have a problem paying.
Yeah,
the problem I had with S3D is you pay for it, you get a bunch of features which were great then, are kind of outdated now, and they have terrible freaking support. I had multiple issues with the app when I first got it, proved it to them, showed it to them, and they're like, "Oh, this is how you fix it." I'm like, "No, that doesn't fix it. That fixes this problem, but it makes 10 more problems down the road." Well, but it fixes the problem. I'm like, "No."
I have been very
geometry of S3D is unstable. It makes very pretty. It makes very weak prints. If you're doing, like I do, mostly structural, practical prints, S3D is by and far the worst.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. Oh, yes. S3D under extrudes. Its toolpath is unstable. When it hits a hole, if you watch some of the slicers now, and Kira's starting to do it too, and I don't know why, but if you hit a round hole with S3D, with any other app, it'll hit that hole, start following the arc, and then pitch off to the infill. S3D hits that hole, does a 90-degree, and goes off.
Mine doesn't
follow that arc for that 0.4 millimeters and then veer off. And you end up with little hole triangles. So when you put like a screw in or something, I can grab that screw and yank it right out every single time.
Okay, so mine does not do that.
They all do. S3D does that. They never fixed it.
Basically, S3D is not something you want to use.
S3D will make it S3D still to date, I will admit, probably does the prettiest ones.
I have been using
its algorithm to make the exterior shell very pretty. And that was what they based it on. They wanted to make the prettiest. And Frenzy can probably, if he's still here, back me up on that. It makes beautiful prints.
It
but
does.
He doesn't use it anymore because they've treated people so badly now. And Cura, Cruiser Splicer,
with my
and
first
Idea Maker will all three do pretty prints now.
And I have never used another slicer. All of my profiles are dialed in on S3D, and I'm just way too fucking lazy to want to start from scratch with another slicer.
If it's working for you,
if I find something that works, I don't go out and try other things. If it works, it works, and I just keep doing whatever.
You already paid for it.
Hey, Jerry, what is the best slicer that you like to use?
So
I use Simplified 3D. I paid $150 for it initially, and the only time I've tried Cura has been the last month or two. When I got the Ender 3 V2, I've been tinkering with Cura, and so far a stock profile on Cura has been working good. But S3D is what I typically go to. I always have for 3.5 years now.
So I would use Idea Maker or Cura. Stay away from S3D. Not that these guys are using it because they're tuned in on it. I would not buy it now. I have no problem with people w'ho've been using it for 4 or 5 years. I used it for a while. The only reason I really got rid of it is because they pissed off so many people.
Yeah.
And I was constantly, I'm a tinkerer anyways, so I was never stable to one slicer. I was using all of them all the time.
And
there's a couple free ones out there. So right now, if I started 3D printing, would I buy S3D right now? No. I'd use Cura and a couple other free programs because they work great. But
I would use Idea Maker because Idea Maker is almost exactly the same as S3D in function and layout.
And
it's actually better now. It does so much more than S3D ever did.
And for most people,
I have a question. What is the difference between the S3D and Cura?
A lot.
Well, I'm new, so that's what my name says.
The actual slicing algorithm.
Look,
the way
at the end of the day, my recommendation, if you're new to the fucking hobby, is pick a slicer. Honestly, they all have their pros and their cons. There's no one that's perfect. Pick one. Pick one and pretend the others don't fucking exist until you and get your profiles dialed in. Learn how to set up decent fucking profiles. Try not to be the guy that jumps on the forum and just goes, "Hey, I need a profile for X," because that doesn't teach you a damn thing.
No, it doesn't. No,
it doesn't.
I asked Jerry, I asked Brian, I asked Joel. I'm here to learn.
Yeah, and that's the way it's got to be, man. I think the folks that beg for a profile are the ones that are right back every other day asking more questions because they're not learning. Mm-hmm. They're not learning the basics. They're screwing themselves. So but there again, like as far as the slicers go, like I said, they've all got their pros. They've all got their cons. Once you get it all dialed in and working for you, and you've got your profile squared away and you're up and moving, if you feel the need at that point to want to dig deeper and learn more, then go for it. But honestly, the goal at the end of the day is to get good prints. And it's one of those where maybe it's profiles and machines that the mileage may vary, because I'll tell you, for me, the big F-bomb up there, it's hanging off of 2 holes I designed into that sucker with 3 perimeters around them, and they're drilled and tapped, and they got a 1/4-20 eye bolt going through them, and they're not coming out.
Not going anywhere.
So that's why I say, like, your mileage.
But if you
varies,
put actual pressure on it, I can pull it out. I bet.
Yeah, it just depends on what you do, and
you're just carrying its own weight. You're not trying to carry other weight.
Yeah,
I literally made door hinges that have to carry weight, and S3D's,
I'm not gonna lie, man. That thing's got almost nine rolls of filament in it. It's got some weight to it.
That is a lot.
I think I may have grunted when I lifted it up on the table for the video earlier.
Yeah, whenever somebody buys a printer, the first thing they do, they get on Facebook and they're like, "What should I upgrade? Should I do this? Should I do that?"
No, don't
do anything. Learn your printer.
No, you have to learn a printer, because if the printer has flaws in it, you are never going to know what those flaws are
Yeah.
if you start just dumping all these upgrades into it straight from the beginning.
These guys that beg for a profile, I go, what printer do you have? Well, they have a CR10. Okay, well, cool. So do I. Guess what? Like, your belts are not tensioned exactly like how my belts are. There's all of these different physical factors on the machine, and that changes the profile this needs.
Now, on that note, it is good to get a base profile from someone. Like,
Yes.
I've actually taken a couple of filament frenzies.
Yes.
And just taking, when I built this, there is no other machine like it. But I think it was one of his or someone else's for like, I don't know, another Core XY machine. And I said, okay, this is my starting spot. And you run it and say, okay, this isn't working right, but this does, and this isn't, and this, and then you tweak it for your printer. That's the other thing I like about like Idea Maker, Cura, and Prusa Slicer. All three of them have base starting profiles.
Yes.
For your printer.
It gets you in the ballpark.
Yeah. And it'll get you, I mean, you could literally hit print with these and they will print a decent print.
Is your bed 3 or 4 lead screws?
Which one?
On that Core XY.
2.
It's 2, really.
1 motor, 2 lead screws.
Yeah.
One motor too.
No, I've got 2 motors.
Figure that one out.
That's how the Fusion 3 is set up.
Yeah, I've got 2 motors, 2 lead screws.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm to the point now where, quite frankly, I want, like, I wish we could just get out and ahead of the power curve and tell most folks that are getting into this hobby, look at Core XYs first, please. Stop looking at the
Send me your email again when we get off the stream, and I'll get it over to Matthew. I can't find it. I got too many emails.
And
I'll do that.
The only reason I say that is because we've got so many people,
and
so many people on the forums that are constantly.
Here's my baby boy.
And
you got your girls. I got my baby boy.
That bed is moving back and forth, and 9 times out of 10, their print failures are due to that, and it limits how fast you can print.
Honestly, anyone asks me now, I got friends that want to buy a printer. I kind of lean toward like the Ender 5 because it's a good basic starter printer. It's kind of like the Ender 3. It's a little more money, but it's a drop bed. It's not a swinging bed.
Jerry, here's my prop child.
I mean, swing bed. Honestly, my swinging bed one, my old ANET freaking E12 is my best printer. Granted, there's nothing left on it that's ANET. It's all me.
Yeah.
But that's definitely my best printer right now. Now, granted, this thing has got problems because of how I designed it. That I designed it.
Okay, I have a question. What do you guys think about the Ender 3 Max that is coming out, which is basically just a blown up version of the Ender 3?
Why not just get a CR10?
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. I mean, what is going to be the price difference? And why does it not get a CR10 instead of the Ender 3 Max? That's what I'm asking. You guys know better than I do.
The thing I can see with the Ender 3 Max is there's a lot of people. Jim. Yesterday, what the hell? What is he? Whatever. He does the hot makes. Jim. Yeah. How old is that? Anyway, I can never remember what his channel is, but hot makes. Anyway, Edgetech. I knew it was something tech. Anyway, he's got a buttload of Ender 3s.
Yeah.
They gave him some. He buys like the Amazon returns. He's got a buttload of them. Got them cheap. Getting the Ender extender kit might be worth it for him. If it's $150, he can basically make a CR10 out of an Ender 3 that he already has.
Yeah. But if you're buying it from scratch,
like going out and buying an Ender 3 and then going, oh, I'm going to make the Ender extender. Yeah, just buy a CR10.
Yeah.
Now you have 2 Ender 3s. You said, if you say, oh, I want a CR10, but I really can't afford it, and I don't know what the price is yet. I think it's like $150, I think, or $200.
Yeah.
You could take one of your Ender 3s and go, okay, yeah, I already bought it and I already spent. It's going to cost me more in the long run, but I'm not buying a third printer. I could take one of the 2 I have.
Yes, you will buy a third printer and a 4th printer and eventually a 5th printer.
The point is, you take one of your existing ones and modify it into something different.
I can see right now I'm going to have to get a house because
You'll find a
My
reason.
hobby is
okay?
turning
Like,
into a nightmare.
you're going to be printing something, and you're going to tell the wife or your friend or somebody, "Well, I need to print this, so I better go get another printer," and you will.
Look,
Back when I did
thing
that, when I
I
was the president of this Connecticut New England Mountain Biking Association, back before I blew out my legs, I used to mountain bike religiously, like daily. And we used to have a saying: if you don't want your kids getting into drugs, get them into mountain biking, because they'll never have any money for drugs.
Yeah.
Same with 3D printing.
I used to race BMX when I was younger.
If you don't want your kids into drugs, get them into 3D printing, because they'll never have any money for drugs. Now they'll probably turn into
That's
alcohol
pretty funny.
because they're going to start drinking like mad.
Well, and for me, like I got to tell you, like I've had a lot, way more than I should as far as hobbies over the years, and 3D printing is the one that just hooked, because you never run out of shit to make. But I think they're right. I think if you want a bigger printer, that's certainly the way to go. I went down the road initially of different brands, different types of printers, learning. Bear in mind that the more different types and the more different brands you've got, the more replacement parts you have to stock. And I've slowly backed myself back off of that. And
Hey, Marcel.
given away printers and sold printers to start to keep the same machines, because you're not having to reinvent the wheel every time one breaks, and you got to remember what needs to be fixed and how to fix it on that particular machine.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier.
I am not trying to reinvent the wheel. I mean, I've always been an artist from the time I was young up until today, even through my time through the military. But now, as I just sit here, I don't have anything to do, and 3D printing, it gives me a chance to design stuff of my own using things like Tinkercad and other stuff, which I'm still learning. Like I said, I'm a newbie.
Yeah.
But it gives me something to do. And I need to learn the aspects of it and what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad. Don't try this, don't try that. So that's, I ask questions. Jerry's real good. Brian's real good.
Don't ever be shy to pipe up. You may get mixed opinions on some things. Some things are kind of hot topics, but as far as basic 101 stuff, I think pretty much everybody who has done it and actually stuck with the hobby is pretty well on the same page. You get your foundation under you, and then you build up from there.
I have a lot of free programs. I've only tinkered with Tinkercad a little bit, but Llama up top is constantly every week designing something, and what's your main program you're working with, Llama?
Mostly Fusion
360, and
are you going to continue?
Much, but if you can think it up in your brain, you can print it. Anything you can, if it isn't already out there, you can design anything and print it.
Okay, Jerry, you have my email address
change was
and stuff like that. So what I will do is I will contact you again, and anything that you and Llama can possibly help me out with, be highly appreciated. All three you can help me out with, be highly appreciated.
Yeah, don't be shy.
We're always hanging out. If you can hit Angry Work Hockey.
Are you on my Facebook group, 3D Printing and Painting?
He's always on, and he's
no, not on Facebook.
You're not on Facebook.
Just on YouTube.
Are you on Facebook at all?
Yes, I'm on Facebook, and I will look you up tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, join, and you can always PM me. Join the group. If you ever have a question, just PM me through Messenger. I'll be more than happy to help you out whenever I can.
No problem.
The headrest behind Marcel's head makes it look like he's got long hair. And all I could think of is, like, I know this COVID shit is just going on and on and on, but goddamn, I swear I've seen him, and there's no way his hair got that long that fast.
Yeah, now that you say that, it did look like it when he first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell. Look, you look good with long hair, bro. It works.
Yeah, maybe. I gotta get that Jesus look.
Tomorrow night at 5:00 Pacific, I've got Andrew S. on out of the UK. He's a co-owner of T-Tech 3D, and he's been an actor. He has a really interesting past. He'll be on tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Well, hopefully I can tune in. It'll be a coin toss between that and Star Wars Squadrons. I
Looks
may be
good.
in VR.
That looks real nice.
That looks good.
The first paint job on made a couple more of those.
Hey, David, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
It'll be a
Just going to move my camera.
and, Star Wars Squadrons.
Maybe we can get Fritos to sponsor you,
That
Jerry.
looks real nice.
That looks good.
The first paint
That's
job
better.
on
Who piped up about Squadrons?
David, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Can you hear me?
Well, we've got the UK, we got Canada, and the US here now. Yes, we can hear you.
Fritos to sponsor you, Jerry.
That looks good. Marcel, I can barely hear you.
Somebody's got feedback going on.
Yeah, I've just muted my YouTube.
Somebody's feeding back.
I didn't know this was a UN meeting.
3D newbie, what happened that caused you to be disabled?
I was wounded several times in the military, but then after the military, I have ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease.
Rat bites.
Well, thank you for your service, and I'm sorry that you have a problem.
My whole entire family is all military. My father spent 33 years, retired Command Sergeant Major 9. My son's a Marine out of Camp Pendleton right now. Nephews, only one sister, one brother, not military. So I spent 9.5 years with the teams. So out of Buckley's house in California. So it was an honor to serve my country. And that's the life we live.
Army or Corps?
I'm sorry?
Army or Corps?
Navy.
Yeah, maybe I missed
I
that.
spent 9.5 years with the teams.
That's awesome, buddy.
Right on.
David, what are you up to? You printing anything today or working on anything neat?
Just working on some Halloween stuff for the neighbours and kids.
Cool.
I just designed a pumpkin in playing with ZBrush. Trying to learn ZBrush.
ZBrush.
My buddy was trying to figure out how he was going to tackle Halloween with his COVID business. So we were in the
printed this
process
last year.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool, Jerry.
I put LEDs in for the lights. I never have put the LEDs in it. Came from Sanix. It's like, I don't remember how big it is, but it's like 250% or so.
Big as a red.
Yeah, we were in the process of designing a tube system coming down from his upstairs window, so we could just nice.
That's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
You're gonna hollow it out, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just it crashed and bugged out and does weird crap. My computer's really not powerful enough to be running it. This is ZBrush Core too, which is at least lighter than regular ZBrush and affordable. ZBrush is just out of my price range.
You can export it as an STL and just hollow it out and poke your holes in Mesh Mixer easy enough, though. Yeah.
Yeah, every time I do that, Mesh Mixer just screws everything up.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. Either I have to crank up all its polygon crap.
Yeah.
Beyond reality, and that just drags. You got to remember, I'm working on a Mac Mini here from 2014. It's an antique piece of junk.
Yeah.
So anything that's graphic cards and tents,
Yeah.
Hey, Kate, how you doing?
they don't like.
Yeah, I find more often than not, my first step is to just make solid, crank up the polygon count. And once it's done doing that, I turn around and reduce the polygon count, because at that point it's done doing whatever fixes, and then it gives you a base to work with. Otherwise, it gets, the file sizes just get stupid big.
Honestly, I found is way faster and easier. Tinkercad.
Yeah.
I don't mess with it much. I
found it so much easier, faster. Tinkercad, it's wicked fast with editing STLs.
You
just bring it over, you drop in a can, and boom, it hollows it out.
And done.
Oh yeah, and it's so much faster than Mesh Mixer.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a bit of a creature of comfort, and I find that once I build my I've got my workflow, trying to break out of that workflow to put something new in. But that's good looking out. I may start dicking around with it then, just to
It's
see.
funny if I'll like design something in Fusion,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you ever use
Newbie,
Fusion, but
see the comment?
Yeah.
start up. I need to like edit
on my phone. So,
if I need to edit a new hole,
I'm about to look at my damn television so I can find my mouse. Because I can just give me one. I got to start my wheelchair back up.
if I need to like edit the
Chief
screw hole,
developer says if you could use some filament, he'd like to donate some filament to you to help you out, and he's thanking you for your service.
Okay, I see this here. Okay, Keith, the developer.
yeah,
I got you on my. I'm looking at you right now on my TV screen, but I'm also looking at my phone.
he's a big.
So,
he's a big
if you can, contact Jerry, and Jerry will give you my email address, and then we'll go from there. And I will make sure that me and the other veterans here in Indianapolis, Indiana, know that you did that.
Here's my email in chat if you want to get a hold of me, and then I'll relay it. I have his email somewhere, but I can't find it.
Okay, Jerry, I'm gonna go ahead and post it back up on the computer right now.
Yeah, you can post it. If you can type it in, you can post it, and he can get a hold of you directly.
Okay, I'll do that.
I tell you, it's all about looking at those silver linings, though, isn't it? I heard you talking about cranking up your wheelchair, and I thought, well, okay, I'm going to hold my breath here for a second. But then you got up and you got moving quick, so I figured that's not a VA supplied wheelchair. Otherwise, that'd take like two guys to pull crank that son of a bitch to get it up and going.
No, the VA paid for it, but it cost $100,000.
Wow.
And I'd rather be walking again than be in this wheelchair.
No shit. That being said,
my life is spent in this wheelchair or in bed.
I'm glad they took care of somebody at least.
Yeah, it's very far and few between, especially in the state of Indiana. This state sucks when it comes to their veterans.
No, I tell you what, they straightened up their act there for a few months while the press was on them, but it's back to being like pulling teeth with them.
Just living here in Canada, it's brutal, man.
Yeah.
So sad.
don't get it. More important to build stupid things than I don't know. Whatever.
I went skydiving in 93 and broke a foot, but it got better, and I got a steel plate and 8 screws. And then I had major surgery last year, and I had to wear a bag for 5 months. I had to remove a bunch of my upper and lower intestines, but I'm getting over that, and I don't have the bag no more, thank God. I don't wish it on me. Yeah, it's horrible.
Sucks. So
you go to Walmart, you go to walk in the front door, and you look down at your shirt, and your bag's leaking. It's like, oh no, you're embarrassed. You got to get back to your truck, drive home, and take a shower, and start all over.
No way, Jerry. It's Walmart. You just got to own that shit. It's not like the work of
I'm painting. It was chocolate. Don't worry, it's not what it looks like.
It may smell like it, but it was chocolate.
Even with that, you probably
about 5 minutes.
half the bugs in there.
Yeah, my old man had a colostomy bag for like 5 years.
Jesus.
We won't get into whole politics.
Yeah.
I can go on and on and on about how bad our healthcare is.
Oh, dude,
Filament works for you. We'll get in touch with Jerry and work out the details. Take care again, and thank you for your service. And Keith, I think he's going to post his email here in chat, and you can get a hold of him directly.
I think Mark Hockey's streaming. I know Mark Hockey's streaming now.
Pretty much
okay, there it is.
Yeah.
He's over there.
Reading that newbie just posted his Gmail account in chat. Thank you very much, Keith. That's awesome.
Whoa, is that like a helicopter up on your ceiling, dude? Yes, it is.
There's all sorts of shit. There's a fire.
Oh no, that's Firefly, ain't it?
Yeah, that's my model off Colts.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, that was one of my early ones.
It looked like a helicopter from the little, spin by it. Looked like a
yeah.
What do you call it?
Little bit of this, a little bit of that. I may die out. I just got a low battery notice, but I'm in until it quits.
Alrighty.
So if I bail, I'm not being rude.
I think I need to go crawl into bed and warm up.
Everybody in chat, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, or leave a comment. I appreciate whatever I get. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comment.
I'm gonna put a thumbs down now.
Yeah, I've already got 2 thumbs
That's
down. A
the last
surprise,
few
and I
weeks,
usually
man.
only get 1 per stream, but I got a second one. Somebody wanted to be funny, but
I
it's
get
okay.
a couple of 3 every stream. There's somebody out there that just doesn't like us.
Interacting is fine. Whatever you do.
But I love that person like tunes in every fucking week. Just a thumbs down. Like you fucking douchebag.
He hates us so bad he pays attention. It's like the ones that comment, about like you always see it like 3D printing noob or nerd is always,
Oh God.
For one, the only thing that bothers me is that it bothers him and he's got to post about it. I mean, he's at like what 1 million followers now. Come on, expect it. Get the hell over it. There's always going to be.
But I think honestly though, I think he's just so sarcastic.
Yeah, well, he does because I love his. He always shows his response like it's usually the generic. So don't watch.
Thank you very much.
It's always this guy's an idiot. Don't watch. And he'll put like so don't watch.
Yes.
Problem. Go somewhere else.
Simple.
$5.
My blocked list has gotten so much longer since I started creating.
I don't even block them unless they're like I get a bunch of boring ones.
Morning and past that, I'm like, nope, I'm not dealing with it. I got other shit to do.
I don't even block them. I just hit whatever. See it. I mean, I block the only ones I block in are the you get the go look at these sexy ladies. It's like come on. That's the most pointless because that's like a 1 day. That's a 1 day email account or whatever.
Look, all I know is that was an outright lie. I know you click every single one of those.
Yeah, no. I'm old, man. There's no point in looking unless you can play.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
55.
Okay, I'm 56, and I still feel like, but I'm not having health problems. I feel like I'm in my 30s.
Yeah. Well, I'm a 16-year-old who is 55, locked in a 90-year-old body.
Yeah.
My body feels like it's 90.
That just muttered 28.
All you guys out there that still work for a living and you look at your watch all day long saying, is it time to go home yet? Enjoy it. Being retired, the days go by that quick for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget what day it is. They go by so fast.
Wasn't it January like a day or two ago?
Sitting home all day with nothing to do.
Like Christmas is almost around
Well,
already.
you can 3D print, you can paint, I design stuff. You learn to design stuff and you can sell your designs.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it like that. I mean, just when you're not retired or you can get out and you can still work.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hell of a thing. I mean, you can still get out and be productive, but when you just got to sit at home and try and find things to do, that's a totally different story.
Jerry lives in Arizona. He doesn't go outside.
I live in Las Vegas.
They go outside like right around Christmas. They got about that month there where they can go outside and not roast like a chicken.
Yeah. Well, I work construction my whole life, and you get used to the dry heat, and it don't bother you. But now that I'm retired, when I walk outside and it's hot, it's like, fuck this. I want to go back
Hot is hot.
Yeah.
Hot is hot.
But it's not humid. I'm not worried about it. It's not hot and sticky ever.
Yeah. Which bothers me a lot here because when it's hot here, it's very humid. I mean, it's always here. 73% humidity now.
I remember, my introduction to the East was July and August at Oregon. That was
your phone's dying.
Oh God, man!
Your audio's gone.
You take a shower, get out, and
Thank you, Keith. 3D Print Newbie sent you an email.
Yeah.
And Matthew, if you die, Matthew, it was awesome having you on. And like I said, I'll go live tomorrow night at 5. And then I'll be back probably on Friday doing another hangout like this.
Yeah, like Gary, I'll flip a coin. It's 50-50. I'll either be here or I'll be in VR.
Okay. Yeah, I've got VR. I love VR. I need to start playing Elite Dangerous more. I love being out in space. And you roll up on a planet or a space station, and it's just so fucking big. It's unbelievable.
Have you snagged Star Wars Squadrons yet?
Huh?
Have you snagged Star Wars Squadrons yet?
I haven't bought it yet, no. I do have some of the early stuff that came out a couple of years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, for Star Wars that I used to play, but I haven't got the new game yet. You like it?
Awesome. I do. Yeah, I think I've logged probably about 4 or 5 hours on it so far, and it's.
Is it will do VR?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whole storyline and all the multiplayers.
Is it off Steam?
Yeah, you can stack it off Steam.
How much? 30, 40, 50, or about 40, 50?
Probably, yeah, 50, 60.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check into it.
Yeah.
I get the money first of the month.
Yeah.
So if I get enough donations, then I can go buy it. Hint, hint, hint. But yeah. Anyway.
I tell you what, this year especially with COVID and everybody being cooped up at home, VR has finally just gone through the roof. And I tell you, man, if you can swing like a Quest or a Quest 2, where it's totally wireless, don't have to dig with a friggin' PC, for being cooped up at home and giving you an outlet to just not feel like you're at home for a little bit, VR might be something well worth looking.
Yeah, I've got a Vive and an Odyssey, and both of them, you feel like you're really there in the game, holding the gun, killing the bad guys or the monsters or whatever it may be. It puts you in the reality. It's awesome.
The first 5-10 minutes that you're in it, like much up until you start playing something, and then your brain gets so busy doing other things before you know it, you don't even know. And it's
I'd just see myself punching a wall or something if I started doing it. Tripping on crap.
Yeah, I'll probably end up driving my wheelchair through a wall or something like that.
No, but the nice part is you got somewhere to mount flight sticks. Silver lining. Gotta look at the silver lining.
I've got an X52 Pro on a piece of oak that I got this mounted to, so I just set that up in front of my monitor. The keyboard is behind it, and then I can play in VR, and a lot of my commands are voice activated. So
all I'm saying is all the rest of the mucks, we got to buy extra high dollar equipment that moves us around while we're playing. Silver linings. We just got to hack the shit out of that wheelchair.
Yeah, you get to float up in the air and be on all hydraulics so it bounces around the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it does that. See here, look.
Yeah, now.
Come on, man. You know the moral? The line never changes. You only live once. So fuck it. Just hold my beer and watch this. I'll do it.
Before they were really VR.
It raises up. I can sit as high as a bar or whatever else. I can lay back like I'm going to take a nap.
yeah, I don't think you can do VR with one eye. I don't think that would work. But
No, I don't think that's going to work either, Jared.
if you only have one eye, but VR is awesome. It's just unbelievable.
Look, I thought the same thing. And I caught myself, because my father-in-law's blind in one eye. And I caught myself sitting in VR, closing one eye, closing the other, and going, okay, yeah, there's obviously a difference. I strapped him in it over 4th of July weekend, and he actually had some depth perception with it. So, crapshoot.
Okay. So, Dominic, if you ever have a chance and somebody has VR, see if you can try it out. Maybe it's something you might like. And when the Vive first came out, it was $950, and I waited for that for 30 years for them to develop VR. And if somebody would have said, Jerry, you got to sell your truck and ride a bicycle to have VR, I would have done it because it's that awesome. It's just unbelievable. But if you ever tried the kind where you take the cell phone and you mount it on, that's BS. That's complete garbage.
Okay.
Compared to the Vive, the Odyssey, the Oculus Rift.
The Oculus Quest 2 just dropped.
Yeah.
It's $299?
I haven't checked the price.
For the entry on it, and it's completely wireless. But if you want to play on your PC with the Oculus Link cable, you can plug it in, and then it works like Marcel's eyebrows went up, and I saw his fingers start touching on the keyboard. It releases in a couple of weeks. But yeah, no, I tell you, it's running that new Snapdragon processor, and like I said, if you want to play PC games, you can still link it to your PC if it's VR capable.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm going to head out, guys. See ya.
Oh, yeah, you got a work hockey day?
Okay, well, I'm going to have a good night.
No, I got to deal with my mother for a half an hour and then go to bed.
Oh.
All right, have a good night then.
I'll go with
Thank
you,
you.
my son.
See you.
Yeah, newbie. Once I get your info, I'll dig up those links and I'll kick them over your way. And if you got any questions or anything, like I said, don't ever be shy. holler out. If one of us doesn't know the answer, 9 times out of 10, there's always somebody else, and we got a really good community of folks that'll.
Here's his email right here if you want to write it down.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm saving it on my computer. I'm saving this session on my computer so I can come back to it.
Well, his phone's about dead, so he's going to write it down.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Quest 2, pre-order, $4.59 Canadian.
Let me know when you got it there.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yeah, I'll get those links. And I'll get them kicked over your direction for your reading pleasure. Yeah, Marcel, I think the
You good? How you doing?
The entry is either $2.99 or $3.99, and then the next one higher is like another $70 or $100 more than that.
You're never too old for VR. If you're an active person, you want to have fun, you're still the same little kid inside that old body. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. At what point do you get old and you got to be, oh, that's not for me? No. If you're watching this channel, you're into printing stuff, you're into having fun, you're never too old. Not until you're dead.
I'm 51 years old, and I still feel like I'm 35. Even though my body won't let me do it, but I still feel that way.
Yeah, you're never too old for anything. When I go to the store and they have a toy department, my wife don't like to be around me. I go up and down the aisle and I push all the buttons and make everything make noise. I enjoy acting like a 2-year-old. So, I can act like an adult when I need to and act like a kid when I want to. So,
which is most of the time.
Yeah.
Alrighty, gentlemen. I will touch base with y'all later. Have a good night.
Thank you. Take care. Yeah, if anybody wants to drop in and hang out, here's the link right here. Whether you're on your PC, your cell phone, or tablet, whatever, there's a link if you want to drop in and hang out. If I know who you might be, I'll let you in. I don't want to get trolled like I did last week, so if you're a troll, I won't let you in.
Aw, you let me in, though.
Yeah, you're not a troll.
So what is new, Marcel?
Oh, not a lot, buddy. I've been printing pretty much every day. I did a huge bag of keychains. I say not a lot, and then I go off on a tangent for about 5 minutes. Need some keychains for a buddy of mine. I'm working on a emblem for a car. So this is going to replace his emblem on his truck that says something else. I think it's like Z71 or something like that, one of his pickup trucks. But he wanted to put his Union logo, so IW97 is going to be put across the bottom. So that might look cool on there. Do a test print for him and see if he likes it, and then go from there. But yeah, I did a bunch of keychains for the same company, and right now doing a rose, printing a rose. So
my hypercube is burning up the belt. I've got a couple rollers that are screwed up on my hypercube, but I decided to go live rather than working on my machine. Because when you go live, it burns up a lot of time.
Sure does.
And then when I get done here, I'm going to grab something to eat and go watch Netflix or whatever else is on.
Nice. I'm actually going to head out too, so I'll talk to you guys later on, and have a good night.
All righty, thank you for stopping by. And then there were 3.
Then there were 3. So what you got going on, Birdie?
David, what's going on?
Oh, not a lot. As I say, I'm just printing Halloween stuff. One of the things I've done. Where is it? There we go.
Happy Halloween 2020. Yeah, we'll always remember that, won't we?
With the tea light in the back.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, nobody's ever going to forget 2020. It's like 9/11. It's something you won't ever forget.
Yeah, that's darn sure.
Let's hope next year's better and not a repeat.
Yes, most definitely.
Too many people dying and too many businesses closing down, people losing everything.
Yeah. But we don't talk about politics.
Yeah.
And sex.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice, Birdie.
Very nice.
Very nice.
You can hang it up from the holes.
Yes.
And I've got some sticky suction cups. Hang on, I can't find them. Here we go. Got some sticky suction cups
Cool.
that you can stick on the window and then hang
Yeah.
the sign off of it.
That'll look good.
Well, Jerry, I'd say I have to take my medication and get ready for bed.
Alrighty.
So I will see you next time.
Alrighty. Sounds good. So
And
you have a great night, and I hope he gets that filament to you, and keep me informed on what's happening, and you can get a hold of me over on Facebook, or you can just
Yes, sir.
message me on one of my videos, whichever.
Yes, sir.
I put my email in there, so you can always email me. So if you have any questions, I'll try to help you out.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Jerry. And
Take
you
care.
guys,
Have a good night.
all you
Yeah.
guys and the viewers, have a good night.
Nice meeting you, 3D print newbie.
Nice meeting you too, sir.
And then there were two. I think I'm going to end the stream, David.
Yep, no trouble.
You have a great night, David, and I'll talk to you. Tomorrow night I'm having a live stream at 5:00 Pacific. I'm having oh boy, Andrew S is going to be on from the UK.
Yep.
And then Friday I'll probably do another hangout.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that one tomorrow with Andrew.
Alrighty. Well, you have a great night, then. I'm going to let you go.
Well, good morning. It's 3:30 here.
All right. Well, good morning, then. It's 7:36 at night here. So you take
All right,
care, David.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. Well, everybody that's watching, I've got 15 people. Let's see. There's nobody on Facebook, and there's 15 people over on YouTube. I'd like to thank you very much. I appreciate all the comments and all the great people that stopped in. Tomorrow night, I'll be streaming live. I'll have Andrew S. on at 5 p.m. Pacific. 5 p.m. Pacific. Same time, same channel. And I'll be streaming on Facebook, my Facebook group, and then over on YouTube. So everybody have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you later. Please like, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.